Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Otter Talk for the Blue Otter Draft League. As always, I am When It Rains. Joining me tonight, we have 21, Banana,
Hello. Yo.
and Taunty.
Hello.
And of course, as always, we have Chippy producing. Thank you very much. Tonight's featured match, we have the Spartans versus the Imperials down in the Ruby Division. Should be interesting. Neither of these teams have been, I think, anyone's contenders for really the top, but both have been fighting pretty hard for their wins. Both teams currently 1-1, trying to break their tied record and see if anyone can overtake the other. Definitely some different opinions on things split apart, but the Imperials do have their full team back this week, and the Spartans, after last week's showing, are a little bit down, so we'll have to see how the stocks shape up. Does anyone have any opinions on our featured match, or are we all Sapphire enjoyers?
No, I hope Lizard wins it down. It'll just be so much funny in the draft help desk later.
Yeah. I'm just a Sapphire enjoyer. But
I don't think he
Lizzo's
will, but I think it would be just the best content possible, you know? Second only to him being traded for Boat Chicken. Like, so funny.
A chicken trade would go crazy. Alright, let's first move into our Sapphire predictions, because those I think a lot of people have mostly some good opinions on. There are a couple that are interesting. Oop, that one. We'll definitely get that one fixed in a sec. So first off, I don't think anyone really has any crazy opinions on this. Wizards are kind of just the best team in a lot of people's minds right now. Things have been going very, very well for them. And interestingly, the Skeletons lost to Dragons. Something that I don't think anyone saw coming. Meaning that, yeah, Wizards are looking quite a bit better. So let me fix that. There we go. Should have that fixed in a sec. The first interesting thing, definitely Tawny having Typhoons over Dragons after last week. Do you think you think it was a fluke? That the Dragons don't have it in them again, or what's up with that?
It's not so much that. I think it's the other way around, that Typhoons have played #1 team and #2 team in the league back to back. You know, they played the Skeletons week 1, and then they played the Raiders week 2. And you'd think the third team there is the Wizards, right? So the Typhoons have played 2 of the 3 best teams already. And they pushed a good game last week as well. I think that I also am I'm a big fan of their support, Para. He likes to flame me a lot, so you know, my #1 fan. But I think that they definitely will surprise a lot of people with. I think that they're going to be better than what their 0-2 would suggest, being swept both back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, but I guess just to defend the Dragons, they played the Skeletons, which is a team that the Typhoons also played, right? And they beat the Skeletons 2-0. So.
Okay, yeah, but did you see the drafts that they were cooking last week?
I did.
The drafts were utterly cooked.
But I believe in the Dragons, and plus they have Tactical Pork Chop coming back in to sub, so maybe that's a tactical sub for chopping.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't that crazy, but like, were the Dragons really cooking that hard? It seemed fairly.
No. I'm saying that
normal.
the team that they played, the Skeletons, they cooked. Like, their draft was cooked.
Yeah, that was. There were some interesting options, definitely.
It's like me cooking next to Gordon Ramsay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, picking Zaya with Kench was certainly a choice. But yeah, no, I think the Typhoons could definitely have it in them. I think after last week's showing, though, I'm a bit more on Dragon stock. I think a lot of people had them straight 8th, an actual just worst team in the league. But I mean, showing signs of life. Now, here's something I don't know if I can abide. Snakes over Ronin is devious work.
Okay. Let me defend my thing. So especially since I'm the new captain for Snakes. So we had to play Raiders week 1, which they're probably looking like #1, #2 team right now for sure, easily. And then we didn't get to play last week. But I think we got an upgrade in support now that we have rescued the season 2 or MVP of Draft League. And I think Rescued is just the best support in the league, if I'm being completely honest. She's played versus, at the very least, most of the other supports in Sapphire right now, if not all of them, and has gapped them all to some extent. So I think Rescued will be a big difference maker. And then, as much as I love Kat, I've never lost a series to Kat. And I've played versus her a few times on stage here in leagues and in scrims. So I think it's just a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, I agree.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, I personally, I know I am the rescue glazer of the league last. I still have that Braum play stuck in my head. That was very good. Definitely an amazing player. I don't know if you guys have it completely over the run. I will say it's a lot closer than last week. I think if you asked me the same question last week, I think I would not have as high of opinions, but I do think going in, it's going to be a lot more of a close match, and I think it's going to be a lot more fun to watch. Speaking of which, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, new captain? You feeling good about things? Things are hopefully going well behind the scenes, I hope.
Yeah, it's night and day difference now. Team's a lot more active and everything's looking good. So I'm feeling really good. This time, we saw how Reaper beat Cat with hammers last week. I'm just gonna repeat it again this week. So.
All right. Crazy. And then last one. I mean, don't get me wrong, Honeycombs aren't a bad team, but I don't know if there's a lot to say. It feels at this point in the league that Honeycombs, it's more up to Raiders to mess up than Honeycombs to play well. But we'll see. Hopefully if they're continuing the streak, they're actually playing well. Things are going well. Hopefully they can bring something out. Otherwise, if Raiders on top, currently looking to keep going 3-0 undefeated, wouldn't be too surprised if that happens.
How funny would it be if their only win the whole season comes from an FF?
Man.
Not again. Not again.
Honeycombs has the Phoenix logo, could not repeat the Phoenix success.
Jesus on top. Can
Someone
I get
get
an
the Molly
amen?
gift? Amen.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move into our Ruby predictions. Things slightly more interesting, not also exciting. There's a couple I think interesting matchups, but I think there's a couple that are feeling a bit more one-sided. Kittens have been looking really, really good in these games. Shrooms, not so much. Struggling a lot in the early weeks. People have already said, how astronauts lost is crazy. Shrooms just have not seemed to have any cohesion, and I don't blame them. Meanwhile, Kittens have just looked incredible all season. I don't think there's a lot to say there. This is interesting though, having two Falcons enjoyers here. I mean, look, I'm disappointed in the Eagles as much as anybody, but putting Falcons over Eagles is crazy.
Nah, no memer, no win.
Okay,
Oh.
all I'm gonna say, I find it hilarious that I come here, I can hate on Psycho, just pick the other team and be done with my life. It's a good time. I don't need to say anything. I just pick and it's done.
Pure Psycho hatred. That's all that fuels you.
Oh brother, it fuels me every day to wake up and hate on Psycho. It's so good.
World's biggest hater. I feel like I'm the only. All right, I'm the only astronauts hopeful here. That's unfortunate. I mean, look, Sputs are good, but come on.
No.
Surely he has one more in him.
No. Sorry. When Rutledge is coming out of lane 1-0 and 50 CS up or something, yeah, have fun. And he's gonna pick the outscales the foe. Yeah, have fun, buddy.
I just don't see a world where that happens. As much as I really want to, for Defoe's sake.
Yeah. And apparently Verge is also gonna get subbed out game 1, game 2.
Yeah.
It just I don't see how that can happen.
I think the support gap is quite large. The AD is more or less neutralized for most of the game. I think later in the game I would definitely take Verja, stylistically, but I think that if you just neutralize the rest of the map, let support and mid just carry the game's gonna kind of just be over.
Yeah,
what-
it's definitely rough having subs. I want to be a believer, but I don't. I'm hoping it's this week. You know, maybe I'll have to wait another week though. We'll have to see.
Now,
No one for
nobody picked the
Spartans.
Spartans.
No one for Spartans, really? Not one? Come on, they weren't that bad.
That's
No,
so
they weren't.
sad.
Surely.
They struggled to close the Falcons though,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they also have Lizzo. If they lose one game with that team, Lizzo and Claw, they're, they're like a ticking time bomb, ready to go off.
Yeah. That's we've definitely talked about personalities a bit at that team. But hey, if they win though, you know, if they win, things are going good. Sure.
Mhm.
Surely.
I mean, you look at it against the Spuds, they lost game 1 that week, and then they won game 2. So I think they can, if they do lose the first game, they have the potential, but they have to kind of get their head out of their ass and draft some sane champions in the jungle. Because these early jungle Evelyn picks are just not it. And assassins like it.
Yeah, very counterable. I will say, either way, I'm winning. Either I get peak content or I get to go to bed early. So you know, things are going well for me. Any other hot takes we got tonight? I know some people gotta talk some smack last week. Anyone trying to talk their smack this week, or a little bit too confident?
I think after this week, it's going to be very clear and apparent that there's 2 teams at the top of Ruby, and there's 4 teams below them, and all 4 of those teams are going to be trying desperately to make trades to improve their team.
And I gotta throw out there, snakes are on the rise now, and after Master gaps the living daylights out of Ixie, he'll definitely be number 1 ADC in Sapphire.
Yeah, I should probably say something to make Chief mad. So, bug up.
Nice.
Just targeted hatred all around. I respect it.
It's the banter, bro. It's coming back to bite.
Hey man, I gotta support my brothers, the Wizards. I was denied a spot, but I have the snakes now.
The snakes
you
now.
are the snake.
The snake
Wait,
now.
oh no, I got exposed.
you actually are the snake. That's so crazy.
You gotta become the snake. I mean, look, if you can turn the team around, you know, that's gonna be great luck. I think the team is definitely a lot more competitive now. I think Rescued's gonna add a lot, and you know, new captain. Hearing that the team's more active definitely makes me more hopeful than looking at power rankings and I'm like, snakes 7, 8. You know, toss a coin, we'll see who goes where. I think now there's actual contention there. It's not looking as dire. So, you know, pulling for you guys. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll at least hit playoffs. I'm predicting here now.
All right, I like to hear the confidence. But for right now, I think we are going to let our players go, get them some time to prepare for their matches. Next week, hopefully, we're gonna have a bit of a new segment, maybe a bit of an old segment, something that should be a bit more fun, have a lot of people on. I think people are going to enjoy it. But for right now, I have been When It Rains. Joining me has been Taunty, Banana, and 21. Thank you all for watching, and don't go anywhere. We will be back very, very shortly for tonight's featured match. We have the Imperials versus the Spartans. Hope to see you all there. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Blue Otter Draft League for Week 3. We are down in Ruby. We have the Spartans versus the Imperials. Already tuning in. Should be a good match to watch. I think these teams are a bit more balanced than I think some previous weeks would have seen, despite even some upsets. But this week, you know, we're hoping for some interesting matches. Raikou is back for the Imperials. Family counseling has gone well. Spartans now have won a series, so
yes,
both teams 1-1 right now. Not looking too shabby, although shaky against the Falcons is not exactly what you want to see. There's hope. There's hope.
Yeah, and Imperials had a really rough week last week too. They got absolutely obliterated, but one of the players who was particularly in the dumpster trash can was their sub 80 carry, and they actually have Raikou this week. So whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen, because they won their games in week 1 after Raikou had to leave the series. So, you know, we'll see what happens this week. But the Spartans, I feel like we see every week, it is 80 carry trades here in the first round of picks. The first pick on the Jinx for Melee Vayne, one of Melee Vayne's high priority picks. And then the Caitlyn, something Raikou really enjoys to play as well. So both of our 80 carries are playing comfort this time around, which could lead to some interesting battling in the bot lane.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about the Caitlyn into Jinx matchup. Feels like a bit of an awkward choice. Like, the range is slightly advantageous, yeah, but it's not like you're going to be bullying Jinx the way you would be bullying a lot of other laners, and you don't scale as well. So I expect to see a lot of early pressure, and the Volibear could definitely lead to that, right? F equals MA plays things like this, but also having something that could enable early dives and a lot of early pressure on the bot side does make a lot of sense. Seraphine locked in, as always. I mean, hey, still a flex though. Could be Ice or could be Nightclaw at this point. We don't know.
Could see the super exciting Seraphine in the mid lane, which, you know, is just riveting. But my own hatred of this champion aside, I do think it's a fine pick. The Gwendolyn is going to be selected here.
Also a flex. I mean, Fallen does, I think, have a couple games on the Gwen jungle, something that's been popping up more and more recently, and could also be top for Lizzo. If that Volibear is top, that could be an already counter pick, but sort of having it flexible, waiting to see what's picked, I like it so far. I actually don't mind this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works well. Also a pick that works very well with the Seraphine.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how it goes. And
Ooh,
the Bard, I like this. I like
Hold
this
up.
a lot. This is something that it says, like, okay, if you're sending the Seraphine support, I can roam a lot more because you don't have the pressure to actually deal with Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Or we just win the lane and beat you up because you can't really trade back. Or you try to now pick support counter pick, knowing that Seraphine is mid lane, and now you're drafted. I like this Bard pick a lot. I think this does a lot for the Imperials here.
Yeah, Bard as a champion really throws a wrench into a lot of different game plans, and like you said, it kind of forces the Spartans to draft reactively here. They either accept the fact that their lane is going to be a little bit rough if they send the Seraphine into bot, or they now have to sort of finagle a situation where they send the Seraphine mid, and now you have to deal with whatever her weaknesses are in mid lane. She's not the best mid laner, despite what some people may think. So it is going to be definitely an interesting choice, something you don't really see that much. So I'm happy to see the Bard. I think it'll be fascinating. We are
It also
banning
lets you blind mid though, right? Like that's
Yeah.
a big thing, is that you now get to be like, okay, I'm gonna pick a Seraphine counter blind here, and if you try and counter me, well, now we have the benefit of Bard's gonna be mid 24/7, so it's actually a 2v1. So it's not actually that hard of a counter pick, because now Bard gets to roam. Now Bard gets to deal with it. I assume
and
we're
we're
being
not going to
messed with
talk about
here.
this. Yeah, we're not going to talk about this as if it's real. Looking
No.
at the bans, we had the Victor getting banned away from Imperials, the
Smart.
Poppy as well, and the we do have the actual selection. It is Anivia. Somebody's going to get frozen forever on the side of the Spartans, as it were. But I don't necessarily. I guess it's fine into the Seraphine if the Seraphine goes mid. Definitely, you just lock her in mid lane, as you do every other mid laner with your insane wave clear. Anivia's not the best at roaming because she's very slow, but she is very good at locking another player into endless mid lane prison. Which
And against the Seraphine, that's a good idea, right? Because you can't really. Anivia is not going to get punished by Seraphine as a champion. So, and in terms of skill, you know, Anivia scales quite well, so you just get to deal with that. And it is going to force the Rakan into the bot lane. So that's going to be a little bit more dangerous. It is going to mean Bard is not going to be able to roam as much. But it's not a bad 2v2. Kayle Bard still, you know, not terrible into the Rakan Jinx. Here it is also probably going to confirm that the Gwen is going jungle. A lot of magic damage here, as we're seeing. Triple match topside means that there is a very obvious champion that I think we see a lot in Ruby that is still open, that I think we have the potential to see. But
Olaf,
instead
right?
we're going to see the Olaf. Okay,
Olaf,
interesting. I imagine this is going to be Olaf top lane, given that Ragnarok, you know, deals with the Prison Realm, but it could still be, but I think it makes...
You can't cleanse.
Well, no, but you can pop it before you get put in, right?
Can you? I guess you can.
I'm pretty
but-
sure, yeah, you can react to it. If he does a little mace thing, you can press R and then he can't put you in prison.
Okay, you can't escape it, but you can become...
No. It's not. It doesn't like cleanse the escape, but I mean, hey, and if you do get into the prison realm, you know, Ragnarok, maybe you can fight back. I also think that it's probably smarter to send the Volibear into the jungle. I think you kind of want to be ganking your bot and top lane early, and I think having a bit more pressure makes sense here.
Yeah, well, we haven't considered the classic Olaf jungle, the Plains of Olaf back in Season 2. You know what? We haven't considered that. What if it was Olaf jungle? I think that is a bad idea in this draft. I like the Volibear in jungle here, Olaf top. I think it is a much better idea, theoretically, of course. We do have kind of the teams completed here. The Rakan pick up a good idea to try and match the roaming of the Bard, I think, is a kind of heads-up support decision. Seraphine mid is going to be a bit interesting. I think just locked in prison with Anivia. Neither mid laner getting to engage with the game of League of Legends for about 20 minutes. Or more like 15 minutes. Mid lane's a different beast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Rakan
like
also
both.
has dive threat though, right? So it's like either you can roam with the Bard, or you can say, okay, Caitlyn, you're alone. We're gonna just beat the hell out of you now, right? Like we're gonna knock you. You're gonna get knocked up, boom into chompers, and then the damage is pretty much there because you have Zap Pistol, you have Super Mega Death Rocket, you have the Charm. There's just a lot of ways that it could go very, very south for Raikou if they're not careful when that Bard roams, right? Something that you really have to keep in mind. I'm kind of depressed that we didn't get to see the Blippo special. We didn't get to see the Galio into triple magic topside. I think that would have been a very good pick, but I'm not going to blame it. If you don't play it, I think it's smart for Vaycaution not to just be like, nah, first time, guys. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, Vaycaution can't even beat Boat Chicken, so, you know, we don't want to try and gamble on playing Galio randomly. That aside, looking at these two drafts, I'm curious as to what you are favoring here. I'm pretty split. I like a lot of things both these drafts have, but I also think that neither are particularly lopsided, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I like
Spartans have a bit of an easier to pull off composition, though. I think that's
for
like,
sure.
I'm like, given how things have been playing out, I think that's very smart for them. Imperials not having the same coordination with their bot side as the rest of teams, going into week 3, they don't have as much time, could definitely bite them. Because Caitlyn Bard, especially if you want to be roaming, especially when you have that Anivia, that Owlbear, that's something that you prefer to have a bit more coordination on, a bit more feel with your team for. So I am a little bit worried. I'd say I slightly favor Spartans, but not by a significant enough degree that I feel like any team has been completely draft diffed. But overall, I feel like this could definitely be. I feel like this is a game to watch. I think this is definitely a lot of things are going to be decided around that first dragon, that first round of grubs.
Yeah, I just think Imperials have interesting champions. So I hope they show us the power of those champions are. And we'll have to see what that looks like when we get onto the Rift. We're going to go to a quick break for the spectator delay. When we come back, we'll be on the Rift for game 1 of our series here in Ruby between the Spartans and the Imperials. Stick around. League coming at you soon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Blue Water Draft League. We're in game for game 1, the Spartans versus the Imperials. Both teams going for a bit more of a standard start. No crazy 5-man invades. I wasn't expecting to see anything too crazy in this level 1. Something interesting to note, though, we do have the heal on the Rakan, not going the Ignite, so maybe not thinking of that more aggressive option.
Yeah, kind of just opting into trying to keep Melee Vayne alive, both in lane and out of lane, which I suppose is not a bad idea. Especially because, from what I know about Melee Vayne, he has a bit of a habit of not using the barrier key, so I suppose if you have 2 defensive summoners to protect Jinx, it allows Melee Vayne to forget to do that. But otherwise, it is kind of weird that the Rakan doesn't opt into the more aggressive Ignite option, especially because, theoretically, if Bard missteps, you can look to try and punish that, but understandably, that's not the game plan they're going for. I'm guessing they're going to try and play a bit more slow here in the early game. Just focus on farming, focus on trying to get this Jinx ramped up as soon as possible, and
Also,
get
something I
into the later
noticed.
stages of the game.
They bought the $250 Jinx skin. Bully them! Everyone in chat, bully this person!
Wow, they
Point
what
fingers.
do you mean? What do you mean? What if they just got lucky with the gacha? Was this a gacha skin?
Yeah, this was the first gacha skin. This is like the first big $250 one.
Wow, this is $250.
That's, I mean, if you want to guarantee it, you know, look, maybe they did get lucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Maybe they did get lucky for a champ that they played a significant amount of, and probably did.
I'm gonna be honest. I had to do a double take, and I was like, oh wait, that's not the normal Jinx skin. So money well spent.
Money well spent.
Money well
I noticed
spent.
because it's the pow pow animation. It's like bigger and it has like a bit more of a kick to it.
Yeah, the rockets also look a bit different. Ward going down is gonna reveal a bit of where Fallen is.
Yeah, I mean
that is advisable for sure.
Isn't Fallen was already on the ward? Like they knew. I think maybe you could have saved it a bit, but hey, it's gonna catch. It should catch Fallen on his next clear, I think.
Maybe. But that's neither here nor there. Nightclaw taking a bit of punishment from the Caitlyn here. Yeah, unsurprisingly, this Jinx Rakan are kind of struggling into the pressure applied by Caitlyn and Bard. Just so much damage between these two champions. And if you misstep once, you can get thrown to the wolves. The birds will devour you, as it were.
Yeah.
Both of our junglers are going to be
bot
on
side.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're both going to be on bot side, which it looks like they're pinging, just kind of looking for assistance around the scuttle. Although it looks like Fallen doesn't
even want to try.
Yeah, well, Fallen doesn't want that
the smoke.
Yeah, obviously it's a really bad idea considering top is in favor of you and bot lane is not. So might as well just trade the two scuttles. It's a bit suboptimal for Fallen, but not by much.
I was hoping for a dive there. I saw F equals going down. I'm like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Just listen to the voices. Just listen to the voices. Give us some content, but not gonna throw the game away on a 4-minute dive for no reason, unfortunately.
Yeah, die to the turret. It'll be funny. Vay caution may die here as well, realizing that this Olaf is very low on HP. Lizzo whiffing that claw. Ghost has been popped by Vay the moral support ghost from Vay caution.
No, they're not gonna run into each other. And important note, that means F equals is going to get the first back. Gonna be able to grab these Krugs and be, you know, a decent amount of time up on Fallen. Fallen actually going for the Dark Seal here in the recurve bow, so it is going to definitely be the Nashers. But going for the Dark Seal shows confidence. It also shows that, like, they're probably not going to do anything too risky. Also, F equals going for the Rod means that we're probably going to see the Roa builds with the...
We're seeing Pawn Shop Volibear.
Pawn Shop Volibear. I like that. I haven't heard it called that before. I like the Pawn Shop Volibear.
Just picking up random items.
I feel like it's more of like the thrift store Volibear, like Volley going thrifting.
Oh, that is true. Oh, but the items are pretty expensive. I don't know.
It's one of those like curated thrift shops, like the nice ones that you see in like the gentrified neighborhoods.
Oh, okay. I see.
Volley in the changing room, deciding what to build.
Yeah, he's trying out a bunch of different items. He's
Trying out all the clothes.
I've got a little AP. I've got a little AD.
Little attack speed. Maybe a dead man's plate, perhaps.
Maybe this little tank item. Ooh, yeah. It's very fascinating for sure. What's not fascinating here is with total bot lane dominance is going to lead to an early Drake being taken by Fequels and the squad. The first round of Grubbins is actually not up yet, so could potentially look to contest, especially considering that F equals is going to be clearing up towards the top side of the map. So if F equals can get a good look on those Grubbins with Swedish Pancakes and Vey Caution getting pressure in their lanes, we could see a potential attempt at getting the big neutral objective sweep here in the early game. Fallen's going to reset, though, going to get a buy, and that's going to be definitely advantageous for them, as they'll be coming back with another little item here. Not a huge boost, but it's more than nothing. And Volibear on just a blasting wand is not the most threatening I've ever seen.
No, big Sky Splitter is going to do a lot of damage, but the survivability is going to be a bit lacking, right? You're going to have that big initial burst if you can land it, but if you miss the Sky Splitter, suddenly you're out like the vast majority of your damage. Ooh, careful.
Yeah, they're going to
spot Fallen here, though.
Yeah.
Fallen just walking in, getting the smite, and Vey Caution coming now, gonna be in a little bit of a bad spot. Ethereal's first move, Lizzo has to be careful. The charm not gonna land because of the ultimate. The Ragnarok going out. Lizzo getting the shield, popping a bit low. The Sky Splitter and the Stormbringer missing from F equals, but Lizzo had already used the flash. Needs a little bit more movement speed. It's gonna be 2 more grubs going back over to Fallen. And Ethereal and Fallen coming up. Death here on the rotation, but so is Nightclaw. Is gonna be spotted out. Gonna try and have to portal out relatively soon here. Nightclaw, a little bit too far. Sky Splitter does land. Death finally going out. Fallen has to be careful. Definitely can't take that one back. And Lizzo with the TP means that no kills are going to be found. It is going to be a 1 grub advantage towards Spartans, but the important thing to note, because of that smite steal, they're not any closer to feats. They didn't actually get that full objective consideration. Fallen potentially stealing the red here could be huge, though.
Yeah, I think that F equals is going to discover that something
Probably just too late.
Oh,
Nightclaw's here though, the knockup. F equals doesn't have a way out either, and the Needle Storm getting popped, needs to run out, needs to make it to that blast cone. Will do it just in time. Unfortunately, Fallen not able to pick up that kill. Will be able to pick up the red buff though. Quite a nice consolation prize, but nothing too crazy. F equals with no sums. Maybe could have gotten him if he popped the ghost, but the blast cone just being a little bit too close. I don't think it's 100 there.
Yeah,
no.
Looking back at that grub fight, there was definitely a lot going on, and a lot of just missed calls, missed timing on things. The encore ends up crashing right into an Olaf who is still Ragnarok, which was just kind of a complete whiff of an ability, which sort of leads to Lizzo being forced back because F equals can very easily try and force that back, as Nightclaw's just going to look to bully Death a little bit.
I like the attempt there, like trying to hit the caster minion with the auto so that the little meep cone stops the back.
Yeah, that's the kind of tech you need to consider. Speaking of tech, it looks like Death is going to be going for Dead Man's first. If I had to guess based on the items currently observed here. Oh, Nightclaw taking a bullet to the back.
Completely out here.
Yeah, that is a ton of plates, a ton of plate gold going into Raikou here. This Caitlyn looking okay.
Because Fallen and F equals are both on the bottom side of the map. They might try to dive here, but it might be bad for them. They're going to spot it out. Fallen, maybe. They're going over the wall now. Melee Vein has to be careful. They do have the Stormbringer. Buying a little bit of time. Nice. They will disable the tower.
Guys, we grief.
But Fallen picking up the first one.
Guys.
Not great. And the second.
Guys.
TP used probably for no reason at that point, but the Bartle, they were not consistent enough there. I think they were like we're on top of him now, but Death is the one tanking tower aggro and needs to drop it. So they just buy a little bit too much time. Fallen's already there. Nightclaw had taken the empowered recall, so it was already on his way back. Not looking great. Now fighting the top side. The Ragnarok already popped, and Lizzo going down. Do a quick crash combo from Vaycaution. A lot of axes right to your face, and no ultimate used for the Ragnarok. I mean, I understand why, but unfortunately, you know, this is the part about dealing with Olaf is, if the Olaf isn't scared to pop Ragnarok, you just never get any ult value on Mordekaiser, and in the 1v1s, that's so important. Making sure you can land those isolated Qs, making sure you get that extra damage in the 1v1, but just not able to do it there.
Yeah, but don't worry. With the Rylai's, we'll be able to slow down the Olaf when we go to fight him.
Not they get a bit of strangers this year. Important note, 4 stacks now on the Darksteel, and the Nashor's finished for Fallen does give Imperials a pretty big advantage despite being down gold here, because that is the first major item spike. Doesn't look like they're going to actually try and use it, though. Looks like they just want to try and trade the objectives, and I can't blame them, because, yeah, you're strong, but you're not that strong. You're not, like, 1v9 just yet.
Yeah. Okay, Raikou just killed Melee Vayne to death. I have no idea how that happened. I'm guessing they just got good poke off into an ace in the hole because no other sums are burned.
Yeah, they were backed off, and Melee Vayne was under tower, so it had to just be a lot of damage, and then Melee Vayne, like, walking out thinking that they're safe under tower, but probably, with no mana too, leads me to believe that it was probably just a really good Q into Ace in the Hole, right?
Yeah,
like,
Q into Ace in the Hole, and probably damage from Bard as well. Bard hits pretty hard. This is not a joke champion. He will kill you.
And he ignites down, which also makes me think, like, Death probably landed a Q. They probably landed a lot of damage, and Melee Vayne thought they were safe, and then just did not back off far enough.
Yeah, the turret did end up going down here, and okay, we stepped on a trap.
Yep, not looking good. Redemption from Death there with a big ultimate, stun into the wall on Melee Vayne. Beautiful Q from Raikou to finish securing it. F equals looking for Nightclaw, getting some damage down, but doesn't quite have the rest to finish it off. Doesn't want to go for that dive. Really nice play there, and that's going to be big. That's going to be feats picked up for the Imperials because of that first tower and that third kill. Gonna make that really strong, and especially when you want to snowball on this comp, I think that's gonna help a lot moving into this mid game, especially for those going for the cooldown reduction boots. Probably the Bard, maybe F equals also going there, I think is gonna find a massive benefit because of that's like the main boot spike that you want. Everyone else, you know, they're not really building those upgraded boots until, you know, after their 3rd, 4th item, but the Ionian boot's definitely something that you might be willing to pick up early just because of how much gold value it gives.
Yeah. You know, I gotta wonder, why do they call it the feats of warfare when all you get are shoes? Wouldn't it be called the shoes of warfare?
Shoes of warfare, but it goes on your feet.
Oh, okay. What if you don't have feet? What does Cassiopeia get? Wait, hold up.
She gets increased move speed. She gets increased move speed on her passive.
Oh, okay.
They thought of that. They did think of that. Because I was wondering too. I'm like, okay, wait, what does Cassio get when she gets feats? Like, is that
she gains the ability to buy shoes? That's actually
the ability to buy shoes.
Yeah.
But only one. You can only put them on you, so you can put it on your head like a helmet.
Yes, it's a defensive item. Death here is going to help Raikou out as the Caitlyn has maneuvered their way into the top side of the map. Currently, we are looking at 3k gold in favor of the Imperials. Vaycaution discovering the Seraphine. Wow, this bot lane inner turret has actually taken a ton of pain. Just kind of unexpectedly. And the unfortunate thing about getting the five grubs here for the Spartans is that they really haven't been able to hit any turrets. Because Ethereal Ice is unable, you cannot push into Swedish Pancakes unless you kill them.
Okay, so it looks like, oh man, big Q there from the egg, and yeah, Swedish just being a little bit careful. Nice flash from Lizzo to dodge out, but 2 towers now that's big. Probably going to be a return in the mid lane, unless they can get there. Vaycaution is on the flank. If they do push a little bit too aggressively, and it looks like they should be getting caught out here. Melee Vayne does have the flash, but it's not going to matter. Gonna go down here. Fallen's gonna get the tower, but might be sacking the Darksteel stacks for it. We'll have to see. Gonna try and execute. That would be huge. You're still gonna lose your Darksteel stacks, but you're not giving over that big shutdown, and that's really important.
Yeah, that is not a huge shutdown. It's certainly a shutdown. 150 is nothing to sneeze at. We're sneezing at Vey Caution.
Ooh, big, nice flash Q from Death to get the stun off, but a huge encore turns it back around to flash forward, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. Big shutdown goes onto Lizzo, who's now stunned, is going to be falling down. Has to be careful. Rocket from downtown, not going to pick anyone off, and unfortunately, Raikou without the ace in the hole, not quite able to finish off Nightclaw. Fight ending in a 1-for-1, but more sums used from Spartans than were used for Imperials. Actually, I think it's actually equal. I'm doing the math right. Yeah, it is equal. So both teams using the same amount of spuns, and Rift Herald coming up, Dragon coming up in 30. Probably going to be some very bloody fights soon, unless they decide to trade these objectives once again.
Yeah, it will likely be a scuffle around. I would suspect the Drake is a bigger priority, although it looks like F equals is considering, since the Herald is already up, to just go for that trade over this.
Oh, they're pinging the Jinx. They're pinging the
Jinx
Jinx.
Okay.
They're forcing the flash. Nice ult from Death is going to force the flash at a melee vein, and that's huge going into this third dragon. Not having flash on any of your carries, not having flash on anybody actually, no ghost on Fallen either, means you have no movement summoners for your entire team. And it looks like they want to try and fight it, but I don't know if that's advisable. Fallen potentially might go for the steal. We do see the TP coming in from Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo does TP in. It's very slow, though. They're going to have to leash back out. Okay, there's an opportunity.
Opportunity Fallen going for it, gets the swipe into the steal. Unfortunately, he's probably going to get punished for it. Needs to go back over the wall, but it will be the shutdown going over to Vey Caution as the rest of the team moves up. Probably to secure that Herald, but making sure you stop that drag stacking was really huge. Unfortunately, that does mean Fallen losing all stacks in the Darksteel and giving away a shutdown to Vey Caution. I don't know if I'd say worth, but you're happy that you got that steal. If you go down and you don't get the steal, that's obviously significantly worse, but a nice steal from Fallen is going to keep them in this game just a bit longer.
Yeah, I do think stopping the Drake stacking is a good idea. However, in the end, it ends up kind of just being the same trade of objectives as
now
that would have happened otherwise.
Like, that's not good.
Yeah, you lose all your Dark Seals, you give over a shutdown, and you have functionally the same objective trade that you would have gotten otherwise. Obviously, it would not be great to have the Imperials on Soul Point just for a Herald, but I feel like, okay.
Vey Caution in the 1v2. A lot of lifesteal, but not quite enough to deal with all the bursts coming from Ethereal and Fallen there. And maybe just a little bit too aggressive from Vey Caution, giving the kill right back over to Fallen that he took.
Yeah, in the mid lane, though, we do end up trading that Death on the side for the mid-outer turret. So that is the map fully cracked open, at least on the first layer of turrets. For the side of the Imperials have that. We're going to see a turret in bot, capitalizing on that side lane kill. Yeah, Vey Caution, I don't really fully understand. I think they just kind of got caught out in the jungle and were like, well, I'm here now. And just decided that that was their life and that was what they were going to live. As Lizzo takes a ton of pain here from Swedish Pancakes. Thinking about LFA right now, their mid laner in the other draft league. Ghost Lizzo walking through that wall. Great work. Danny Phantom right here.
Fallen, not again, not again.
Ooh, needle work.
Was looking for it. Nice. Death has been clean. That first ultimate must have been a fluke because Fallen getting hit by that's so big. F equals. Gonna try and pick this up. Sky Splitter big. Fallen not gonna be able to do anything else. And honestly, I think all of Death's ultimates after that first one have just been peak. Like, he has been hitting so many good ultimates. That first one really was just like, need to get it. He needed to get it out of his system, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to have one grief ultimate on Bard. That's the nature of the champion. So you might as well make it your first one. So the rest of them the more impactful ones can be on point. So it will be a nice pickup on the side there as Fallen will drop. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot to get. Vey Caution gets the ability to kind of go down into bot lane. They could potentially look for a dive. It looks like F equals is setting up for it. But they do have the Ragnarok. They do have the sky splitter, but
No,
it's not
the Stormbringer is the ultimate.
Stormbringer. Sky
Splitter's like the big
lightning
little
bolt.
lightning thing that you come out of the sky.
Yeah.
And
I
quick Roa check, which is really. Oh wait, I didn't even realize. Wait, it's actually not. I thought there were more deaths this game.
No, this has not been a super bloody game. So we are
Yeah, it's
getting
voracious this game.
we're getting the voracious Atacon. All right, we have the Vision ultimate. We used our hawk shot on the voracious Atacon to see that it was being taken.
Also,
so
quick
we
Roa
know-
check. Big
Roa.
deal. 9 out of 10 for Swedish pancakes.
Almost Monka
and almost a
point
finish.
clock.
And are we gonna finish Seraph's here too?
That would be big if they can get the
Not
Seraphs.
quite.
Nightclaw's caught out here.
Yeah, way too far up. Forced to use the quickness to get out. Now Fallen coming to try and save his support, but no kills gonna be left over. And missing your Icon ultimate, a minute to drag, means that you're not gonna be able to make a proactive play for that. You need to save the cooldown, right? It's gonna be a minute 30 till it's back up, which means that's not there for the dragon fight. That's a huge difference. Now Ethereal's stunned up, and F equals with the flash going for it. Beautiful stun from Death, pull him out of there. Nice charm though on the back and forth to withdraw there. Raikou looking for a little bit more damage. Melee Vein caught in the ice storm. Fallen looking forward, trying to take Raikou out, put him in the withdrawal, but it's not gonna be enough. Death with a quick auto and a flash gets the electrocute, finishing off Fallen. Now Ethereal Ice stuck out there. Beautiful slow from Vaykash, who pops the Ragnarok and is going to keep going back around for Nightclaw. Nice stun there onto Lizzo. Should just be able to clear out this wave and back up there. But only one withdraw taken out a minute before that drag. 3 for 0 so far, right? 3 for withdraw. And
Yeah.
you have the 10 stacks on your Anivia, who got an extra assist. Don't know if they're going to be able to finish off Seraphs, but they are going to be able to go right over towards that drag and pick up Soul Point without any real contest. Fallen's not alive. Melee Vein does have the ultimate, might be able to steal it, but that's really your only hope. That you need a big Jinx steal here, otherwise this game is just in such a bad state.
Fire it now. I mean, if Melee Vein fired this anytime sooner, it's possible because they didn't have Smite, but just not using that button on that. We don't want to use our Hawk Shot again on another objective. The Jinx Hawk Shot, of course, being a great ability. The Imperials have kind of unexpectedly taken over this one with just good play around the map and good catches. Using the Bard in particular. Death has been fantastic this game.
Yeah,
So
I
many
mean, look,
great
we were
catch-
memeing on it. The first like 2 Qs that were like literally opposite direction, and the first ult I'm like, I don't know about this one. After that though, like Death pulled together, like has been playing so well. Finishes the Dead Man's Plate, also going, and another one! He can't keep getting away. Beautiful wall as well from Swedish Pancakes. Now it's only a pick on Raikou. Going into the egg, doesn't have the resurrections anymore, so has to be careful. They're not going to be able to withdraw. Lots of damage going down, but it's going to be Melee Vein picking up that kill and getting excited. Unfortunately, the damage is just a little bit too big, and Raikou's going to pick up another. Death out through the portal. Fallen getting run down. Has to be careful. Raikou finally goes down, and a huge shutdown for Fallen. Swedish Pancakes getting some good damage, but has to dodge out on the storm. Has to fly around. Death pulled right back in, and Lizzo with another shutdown. Fallen, beautiful miss there to get a lot of it down. Gonna be able to dodge both those, but isn't gonna be able to get anything more. Meanwhile, on the side lane, Vaykash able to pick that up, but huge shutdowns there are going to be massive, turning what was, I think, over a 5,000 gold lead a little bit more reasonable. Now, just a little bit under. Oh no, wait, it is still about 5,000. Oh, but a big shutdown from Lizzo once again, walking through the wall.
Phantom.
What is going on? That is, I feel like that's a spectator bug, right? Because
the wall is coded as minions. Also coded as minions.
Everything's a minion. Everything's a minion.
Also coded as minion is Fallen, who has been farmed plus 40 gold into Vaycaution here.
Also, both Roa's done. Roa check. We have both Rotted Ages finished. 2 item strikes for both of these champions as well. The Seraphs also finished for Swedish Pancakes, means that this Anivia is like officially fully like. These are the 2 big stacking items you need to get online. Now you're probably, looking for the Leandries, looking for those other things, but like having those 2 finished is absolutely massive. And I imagine Raikou's towards an item if they're letting Raikou pick up all these mini raptors or something. Funneling at least a little bit. Big shutdowns though. That is really what you needed to see. The Darksteel unfortunately being sold. I think Fallen has realized at this point in the game that it's not a very realistic option. Melee Vein also 2 items, no Infinity Edge just yet, means that the Jinx is still on like kind of a budget, right? Like you need that Infinity Edge before you can really start winning the game. And right now, don't know if that's realistic. Imperials have full priority on Baron and Soul up in 2 minutes.
Yeah. The Baron will be kind of the focus here as we do catch Nightclaw with the stun, but it's not really a whole lot. Caitlyn setting up the trap line is going to force the side of the Spartans to make a choice, go into a choke point where Anivia can kill you, or walk through the traps. And it looks like they're kind of struggling here as this Baron will go down, but what are they going to trade for?
Yeah, it looks like not a lot. The Ragnarok off the side, dodging out on the knockup as well, and the Super Mega Death Rocket, taking the portal out to safety, and Vikosh just backing up. And that is a free Baron. Complete heist. Just took it right out from under their noses. They couldn't even get vision on. They couldn't even watch. The bright side here for Spartans is that they are going to get prio on this dragon, but it's still a minute 30. The Imperials have plenty of time to use this Baron and fight their way back in.
Yeah, the Imperials have so much time here.
Look at the Bard item. It wasn't RFC.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we call gaming. I don't know what to tell you.
When I say Bard can literally buy any item in the game, like a Bard build is literally just go into the item shop and buy whatever you want.
He's also at the pawn shop. He and Volley work together.
He's at the accessories part of the thrift store, right? Like Volley was trying on clothes, had like a nice little jacket, a nice pair of pants. Bard's looking at like the necklaces and the earrings. He's like, ooh, Static, use Swiss Army knife? I'll take that, please. Like, the Static Ship Bard is something that I have not seen yet. Going for more.
Oh, he's popping up!
Maybe missing a Q, but going for the 1v1. Wait a second! Death is doing crazy, forcing the flash out of Ethereal Ice as well with that ultimate. Now F equals running it down. Ethereal Ice with no flash, no encore is dead to rights. Huge ace in the hole, and it's going to be Death picking up another one. The Static Ship Bard putting in work as a carry. Meanwhile, on the other side, Vikosh just bullying Lizzo out from under his own tower.
Yeah, Lizzo being bullied under tower. These two cannon minions are just battering away at this inhibitor turret, and Lizzo can't really do a whole lot to stop it. Nightclaw is going to head up there. The Ragnarok is still live, though, so I feel like if threat happens, we just hit the button and walk away. Speaking of clicking buttons, we are clicking buttons.
It has to be, right? Yeah, they don't have the Super Mega Death, right? It's over. This is Soul, a massive, almost 10,000 gold lead for the Imperials. So many towers. You have Death who can 1v1 your carry and your mid laner, and also your jungler. So, like, at this point, it's a little bit struggling. Vikosh, though, might be caught out. Does pop the Ragnarok. The lifesteal has to be careful.
Is he? Is he
not
caught out?
Be caught in the Death Realm. Finally gonna have enough damage. We are gonna get Lizzo the kill. Again, listen, you cannot put the Death Realm onto the Ragnarok, and it is gonna set Fallen even further behind, but it's still gonna be a 1-for-1 in that massive trade, which is gonna give Imperials full reign to take out this bot tower and inhibitor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big inhib take right here. The entirety of the map has been
the rotations with the portals.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Open.
I straight up Death has been playing insane. Like, this is legitimately like I am very impressed with what I'm seeing right now. Just really the knowledge to utilize this kit to its fullest.
We got the gun.
Lizzo,
kill him. Kill him.
Lizzo doesn't have it. Big encore there from Ethereal Ice. Needs to find more, but a nice ult from Death can keep people alive. This guy Splitter, Death picking up the first kill, but it's a 1-for-1 so far. Gonna use that portal to get the rest out. Raikou did not take it. Now has to be careful. Fallen going forward with the ghost, but he might have stepped a little bit too far forward. Nice rocket from Melee Vein. Gonna buy some time, but a good wall from Sweet Pancakes keeps it even. 2 for 2 in the fight so far.
Yeah, you see, these sorts of this aggressive maneuvering is not smart, but it is very funny. So I mean, I am absolutely okay with it because
I'm loving ADC Death right now. I'm loving the Bard carry because he was looking for more too. He was like chasing people down. He's like, I want to kill them. I want to kill them. Give me that.
I'm gonna kill you. I want to kill you.
He's listening to the voices, and you know what? We love it when people listen to the voices.
The voices have won this game.
Jinx has IE. Jinx has IE though. That's a huge spike. That is going to make these fights so much bigger because if you can get that kill, if you can get excited on the Jinx, you finally have that item that you need to do the damage. No LDR is going to be a little bit rough. However, the bright side, not a lot of armor. A lot of MR stacking because of the top side, not a lot of armor. Also, important note, Ice has gone the Moonstone Renewer. So playing a bit more of a supportive role, knowing that they aren't getting as much gold, she isn't going to be able to accumulate as much. So it's going to be giving the Grievous Wounds, going to be giving like a bunch of shielding to the team. Much more of this enchanter than a mage, right? And that's important because at this point in the game, melee veins are carry. You need this Jinx to pop off and win these fights because of all that MR, right? That lack of armor. Lizzo putting Death into the death realm.
I don't think you win this.
That's his domain.
Lizzo,
that is the death domain right there. Death popping the 1v1, and the second Lizzo comes out, gonna be taken out by another axe. Death.
No!
Oh my god! He can't end the flash! He can't keep getting away with this!
This is the most greatest gamer of all time.
This has to, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. It's not a high bar to clear to have a good bard performance in Draft League, but I still think this is the best that we've seen in a very long time. Raikou taking out Nightclaws, only Ethereal and Fallen left, and it's not going to be even remotely far enough. Fallen, the last one alive, he's going to run back to base to preserve that KDA a little bit with no Needle Storm, with no stacked up Q. The Imperials are going to march to victory, 5 strong. Death putting on a clinic on this bard. Greatest bard performance I've seen in a Draft League. Which again, you know, not a super high bar to clear. Usually they're not too great, but this one was special. This was a actually extremely good bard performance.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a slobber knocker right there. A bloody game. It started out a little slow, but it absolutely got bloody towards the end. But yeah, man, it is great stuff. Good stuff from Death, but also the rest of the Imperials really playing well off of the Bard and following every psycho maneuver. They just all committed to it, and you have to respect that. Even the bad plays the team was committed to, and something we were kind of worried about in the draft was, would this team be able to kind of execute together? They had a higher ceiling of performance, but they needed to perform as a unit. In that first play we saw from Death, obviously it was a bit rough, but once they started to get into the game, it became a lot easier to, all right, I'm throwing out the Tempered Fate. If we hit somebody, we kill them. And that's just what they did for the rest of the game. Great coordination from the side of the Imperials, and also just like good from the F equals from Vey Caution, both just holding it down in their own respective positions. Swedish Pancakes did a good job playing as a neutralizing element throughout the game. Not the most flashy of Anivia performances, but the champion is not very flashy to begin with, so they did their job certainly quite well. Not a total wash for the Spartans, but absolutely, once the game got cracked open, the Imperials were in the driver's seat for pretty much the entire time.
Yeah. And this was another thing, right? Like, Jinx had just gotten the IE in that last fight and then immediately gets picked off by Death. Like, did not even have a chance in that game to actually pop off, because this Jinx, again, this is one of those champions that, like, if you're gonna wait until your third item to buy the advantage, you're just basically praying at that point. Like, things are so bad that you're really just hoping to hang on just a little bit longer, and then you need a miracle fight just to get back in, just to feel good, right? You saw it Fallen going for the Dark Seal, you know, maybe a little bit overzealous. You know, Ice had to go for the Moonstone because she wasn't allowed to farm, right? So the entire team just on the back foot this entire time feels so bad. And it's really unfortunate. Death, though, the static Shiv, that's gonna live on in my memory. That's...
Yeah, somebody call up Chong. I want to know his opinion on the Bard maneuvering this game.
Chong actually staring off at the bridge right now.
This is beautiful to hear. Anyways, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and switch to a break as we set up for the next game. Remember, this is Fearless, so the Bard will not be making a reappearance in games 2 or 3. We'll have to see what both of our teams have in store for us, though, when we get into that draft. So stick around, coming at you after the break.
let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go! Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Come on, everybody, bring it in. Let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 2 of our series, the Imperials versus the Spartans. Melban, as expected, big fearless fans that you love to see. No Jinx is big, and the rest are a little bit more niche anyway. Like, obviously, having the Mordekaiser out there, there's a lot of picks, but, like, a lot of that draft was, like, very good. Also, like, the more I think about it, like, Imperials just had a kind of really good draft. Like, I really think I was, like, underplaying just how good that Bard pick was and how much it threw off what Spartans were trying to do.
Yeah, and the Anivia as well. The walls are a really good tool to stop these champions that are either going to have to try and walk away or walk at you. So the Imperials did end up walking away with a very strong draft, and they performed incredibly well. We do have the Hui will be the last ban here for the side of the Spartans, as now the Imperials get first crack at first pick here. Plenty of options, and we go with Misfortune. You think this is more Misfortune mid? Smile? Misfortune mid? Run back?
Run it back,
pick.
run it back.
Good pick. Can't do any worse than Cat did, at least. So, that's a good thing. But I'm suspecting this is going to be a Misfortune bot lane, and we'll see some AD carry response. I know Melee Vayne likes the Sivir, which is now on our screen, has been locked in. So not too surprising. It's probably Melee Vayne's, I think, second priority pick after the Jinx is to go into the Sivir. And then like several other champions, and then like seventh is Vayne, because Vayne's not very good.
No, Vayne is not very good right
it's
now.
just in a very
Vayne is
sad
one of those
spot.
like hard counter picks, and like if you're saving your ADC to like 4th, 5th pick, and you're not doing like some crazy flex shenanigans with like a mage bot lane, then like what are you doing in your draft, right? And they're not as well is a bit interesting. I don't know if it's really necessary. Like Sivir herself is already very safe and able to do a lot with wave clear, so it's fine. I don't know if it's really that crazy. I don't really know if it's necessary to pick it up here as well. You're sort of leaving yourself open. And we're just gonna see Imperials pick up
A
Garner,
horrifying Scorpion.
general good pick, general good tank jungler. And then I expect to see a support counter pick as well. Or we could see just a mid, and then like see if they just want to like pinch one of the pools, pinch like jungle or mid, depending on which one the Spartans don't go. Also a viable option, but support's definitely like the easy way out here.
Yeah, if you want to just give over as little info as possible, you probably go or we go to Leah. That
I love it. This is what I'm saying. Now you get to say
fascinating.
like, okay, you either go your jungler here or your mid laner, and then we get to like turbo pinch whatever pool that you're not going, right? And like we're playing into Sivir Renata, so we probably already didn't have that many supports that we like really wanted super high priority on. So it looks like we're just gonna get the Nico for Ice. And now we get to pinch the jungle pool, which into the comp that we already have, there's like some really good picks that we want out here. I'm already thinking like we're probably gonna see the what's called I can't say it. Lilia ban. There we go. I'd be pretty surprised if we don't see that, given that it's not a lot of movement. You're into Talia, you move very fast. You're into the Skarner as well. Lots of ways to deal with what you're trying to do. And now the Spartans have think like we're probably banning top laners and supports, but it's hard to do something, right? Because you can't ban as many top laners, and now you get to leave them open for support. So already I think Imperials have really shown their draft prowess in what they're doing, and not ever really picking the easy way out.
Yeah, they're forcing the opponent to play their game, which is always really what you want to see in terms of drafting. Like there are easy choices to make, and they are not picking them. And I do like the fact that they now have the ability to sort of ban away either to super target top lane and put Lizzo into the trash can, or super target jungle and put Fallen in the trash can. I think leaving the Lilia up is ill-advised for the Imperials, though. We saw what Fallen can do on that champion a couple weeks back, so we know that Lilia champion can be super dangerous if given the right opportunity to just go crazy. And right now, the Imperials don't have a fantastic composition to deal with the Lilia. If Skarner doesn't land that lockdown onto the deer, it is big over. But they may not consider it that big of a threat, and it looks like they will be looking to try and just pinch Lizzo up in the top lane, force an unfavorable game state for Lizzo Mukbang, especially because Vay Caution can now if they go for top here, I feel like it's not the smartest idea. You just wait for top counter pick, get your jungle. You already know Skarner is going to be in the jungle, so you can get your jungle here. Plenty of good options, and you just hopefully get a good top laner for Lizzo. And it looks
pray-
like that is a fallen champion for sure.
Yeah, I don't like it as much as the Lilia, especially when you're going into the Talia and you have 2 picks left to deal with. Now, here's the thing. If you're Imperials, you have some options here. Obviously, you know, you're probably going to want a support that can be a bit more aggressive. Maybe you go the Enchanter and a bit more an aggressive top. I think the Ornn is also a really good play here, because it takes Lizzo off as a state champ, and it's like, okay, your one answer that I know you play is Trundle, and now your draft is completely screwed because you're going Trundle with the rest of this comp, right? Gragas also works. I think that's an option. I think if Lizzo's smart here, he's just gonna go Ornn again, and round out the draft quite well. I don't think we should be going for any like crazy fighter counter picks here.
Yeah, let's not go crazy. You really just need something a bit more stable here because you have some wonky champions on the side of the Spartans, and there she is,
Doubling
the lady of the hour.
Yeah, doubling and tripling down on the poke does make sense here though, because like what you're doing is now instead of going like, okay, we're gonna use this aggression with the MF and it's like, we're instead gonna use their range, right? Obviously, MF has that E, can slow people from an extremely long range. You have Talia with a lot of damage, and now you're adding the Karma back into that. And already you don't have a lot of ways in, right? Kayn and Lilia don't have a lot of ways to actually get in.
That's the worst pick I think you could have done.
I don't think
I
there
think
is...
Nasus might be worse, but I can't imagine there's another champion. Like,
because my fear now is like, how do Spartans get in?
how do you get in?
How
What
do
do
you
you
fight?
do?
It's like, okay, assuming we're just a 4-core and like Gragas answers the perma in the side lane, like, okay, yeah, we don't have Cask and that disengage, but now you have to deal with all this poke, you have to deal with Karma Shields and Talia push to get out, and Skarner's there. If you do manage to get in, he can just impale everyone who managed to get past you. He can just slow them, he can just do everything he needs, and you have so many ways to pull people back in. It seems like a very strange way. It seems like you're just gonna be sticking Lizzo in a side lane and praying to God that he can just split the game away.
Yeah, seems to be the plan here. It's just send Lizzo on a side lane, family counseling collapsing in on itself as we relegate Lizzo to a side lane, let him mute, let him full mute and go play a solo queue while the rest of the team go 4v4. But the 4v4 here is horrendous. It is atrocious. Like, your one button to get in is on the hunt. And maybe Kayn gets an insane flank. If Kayn can get a good knockup into Lilia getting a knockup and the on the hunt all coming together, and then we land the Renata ultimate, and then Bill Gates will descend and give me $1 million, and all of these great things will happen. We live in a fantasy world, assuming these things happen. I genuinely do not see a dimension where this is a good idea. I can't believe we opted into Yorick here. That's insane. That's berserko. Like, how do we end up here? How did we end up here?
You're basically playing entirely around Nico Flash at this point, right? You're playing around on the hunt move speed, and then you just jump in with Proto Belt Flash on Nico, and you pray you get a big ultimate, because otherwise there's just no other way for you to actually get in.
It's a choice for sure. So which draft do you think is the winning draft?
Imperials won both drafts. It's not even close. Honestly, very impressed by their B3s in both of the drafts. I think they did exactly what they needed to. And I think it adds a lot of value. I don't know. Spartans need to go back to the drawing board on whoever's doing the drafts.
Yeah, whoever's doing the drafts, it's certainly a bit rough, but fortunately, there is a solution. That's right. We are still sponsored by ProComps GG. ProComps GG is, in fact, the greatest drafting tool ever concocted by human hands. You can download this for free. Join 280,000 people in the drafting program that is ProComps GG. You get draft picking, you have draft recommendations, ban recommendations, you get guides, you get champ pool generations, you can build a roster for you and your friends. It's perfect for draft leagues, perfect for pre-made leagues, perfect for solo queue as well if you want to be a little sweaty in solo queue. We all love to sweat a little bit sometimes. It's good for your health. So if you want to get in on the ProComps GG action, we've got a link in the channel, and you can get in on that anytime. And you too can draft Yorick R5 into the worst draft I've ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, hey, all I'm saying, if Spartans were using ProComps here, you know,
ProComps.
if they were using ProComps GG here, you know, they put all those pulls in. I think things would have ended up quite a bit differently.
Yeah,
Probably for the better.
We'll see if the result of that though is victory or defeat when we get into the Rift in just a few minutes. So stick around; it'll be exciting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back in game for Game 2, the Imperials versus the Spartans in the Ruby division of the Blue Otter Draft League. We do see a 5 march going in, potentially to find someone.
Oh, we're gonna walk into melee van, get a kill, level 1. This is it's over. Oh no.
He doesn't see it.
Melee van walk up, it'll be funny.
Oh, they don't see it.
Oh.
Ah, spotted out.
That's
Wah,
depressing.
wah. Womp womp. Womp womp.
Let the voices
they're not
take
giving up.
over. Walk
They're
into
not
the
giving
5
up.
stack.
Okay, they're calling it off.
Walk into the 5 stack. It'll be
Walk
funny.
into the nice Do it.
Do it. No, we're not walking into any 5 stacks. All right, I got bamboozled. I got tricked by Lilia there, I'm sorry, Nico. I wish it was Lilia. I got tricked by the Nico there. I was like, wait, didn't we just see Kan walking out of base? What's he doing there? I am actually the player lacking object permanence.
Okay, so Vacaution's gonna walk right into Lizzo.
Speaking of walking right into people.
Damage. Nightclaw, nice return though. Not the end of the world. Not great damage, but like, you can play safe enough.
Yeah. So kind of looking at the start of the game here, Kayn obviously going to be starting Raptors. It's the easiest and safest thing to do if you're going to be playing the Kayn champion. You just power farm, you Roomba clear your first jungle, and then attempt to get any kind of points on your passive. Because your goal as Kayn is to take as many fights as possible so you can become a champion.
Yeah. And here's the problem. How do you do that into these champions?
Wait, also, fun fact, just noticed, fellas in the audience, this is Dark Harvest Kayn. Are we going blue?
I mean,
There's no way.
I feel like
no way we go blue.
I mean, that's
right?
the only way you actually kill anyone, and like
you kill anyone into karma.
No, don't get me wrong. I think it's bad. But here's the thing: how do you get red form?
You don't. I guess.
You can't. What? You're gonna get red form against Gragas, and like you can't invade the Skarner. You're never gonna have prio. Like you just have to like pray that you can get ganks on mid and bot. But like again, this is why I hate Kayn. You shouldn't be getting successful ganks on these champions.
Yeah,
like you're relying on Imperials to mess up to get your form.
Oh, speaking of messing up,
Nice.
Caution taking a big punch here.
Yeah, it does have the flash. Nice little knockback. Also pop and conquer. And they with low mana gonna have to wrap up this wave. Probably get it back into TP though. Be very respectful, Lizzo. Nice there, but Lizzo with a nice slow. Vey gonna have to find his way out. Does have the flash. Gonna use it on the cage. Gonna make it out. And Lizzo should be smart. Let that wave push, hopefully. Alright, the double Kayn attack walking down the river is gonna be able to secure that first scuttle, and might even be able to secure 2, thanks to Lizzo's early pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Fallen's gonna be looking at that. Nightclaw's also in mid as well. Okay, we're looking for something.
Yeah, not gonna be able to pick again. This is what I was saying, right? Like, as Fallen, you're not really gonna be able to pick up a lot of form points. The bright side is that you're going to be able to accelerate that Roomba clear, and like Lizzo, like, look, I don't like Yorick. The benefit is that you do win the first 5 levels against Gragas. Like, you're able to actually get an advantage. You're able to get Fallen that's like that prio, and maybe the first round of grubs. The biggest problem is after that. Like, they have to do a lot with not a huge lead. Gonna be a big root. Melee Vayne force the flash out of there. Nice root there from Death to make sure that Melee Vayne can't escape. But yeah, like I was saying, like, you're gonna have, like, I don't know if, as a team, like, this is not, you know, LCK. Like, getting an advantage on the first clear in the first round of grubs, I don't know if they're gonna be able to, like, actually transition that into the entire game when the draft is like this, right? Like, I don't know if they can really abuse those micro advantages that this draft is getting, because they don't have a lot of ways to get anything else.
Yeah, we'll see if they maybe can either intentionally or accidentally get an advantage here. Raikou and Death playing so well with the wave here, putting Melee Vayne into the sarcophagus in the bot lane here. It's not looking particularly close right now. Meanwhile, Vacaution has regained footing up in the top side. Sort of now level 5, able to
Has to be
effectively,
careful.
yeah, effectively pushing Lizzo back. Oh, okay.
I was
That's
watching the
it.
health bars, popped a bit low. It was a really nice cue from Nightclaw. I saw someone like fly across the minimap, and
Mhm.
then a bunch of health bars went down and Death used the heal. So I'd imagine it was a nice little handshake there from Nightclaw
Yeah.
to knock him back. The bright side now, Death wrapping around, and Nightclaw can be aggressive, they think, except
Melee Vein,
F
no
equals
flash.
is here. Melee Vein doesn't have any flash anymore, taking a lot of slows, just eating so much damage.
Okay.
Fortunately, they might not be able to do it. Raikou, beautiful exhaust. Gonna give Melee Vein first blood, and now Death, the next one up on the docket. Fallen able to pick up that kill, get a nice stack of orbs and an early aggression. Nightclaw flashing forward for the handshake, but F equals is a little bit too tanky. They shouldn't be able to take him out.
Yeah, another fumble in the early game for the side of the Imperials here. It looked good at the start. F equals went in, wasn't able to get any kind of pushback on the Melee Vein, but without the flash, the Cipher should have been what theoretically an easy takedown. However, they still had the exhaust, and that exhaust was super punishing. Raikou on the Misfortune just didn't have enough damage to really punch through the rest of that health bar there. And
I think Death's Q, the empower, like the mantra Q, I'm pretty sure it hit the spell shields.
Yeah,
which means you don't get all that damage, and Sivir gets a bit of a heal. Like that I think is really the one spell that like really turned that fight. And then biggest thing, Fallen gets a kill there, is a lot up, and that extra kill on Melee Vein means that it's gonna be big because Raikou had such a large CS lead. That's gonna put Melee Vein back into the game.
Yeah, it's certainly still not amazing to be Melee Vein in the situation, but because Fallen now has a lead, the thing about Kayn, he is very good at snowballing if he can get an early advantage, and it looks like that's exactly what the plan is right here. Now that they have that early advantage onto the Kayn, they can start to look and play a bit more aggressively, and Fallen's going to be looking for a repeat.
Yeah, no flashes on either of the bot laners. Looking for some extra slows. Has to be careful. Raikou slowed. Nightclaw not going to be able to land a handshake, though, so they should be able to get out. Fallen with a lot of damage. Nice handshake on a Death. The ult there onto Raikou. Using the damage. Going to be put into the res. Will end up picking up the Feat of Warfare and the kill. Unfortunately, the shutdown going over to Raikou, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a risky maneuver. They knew they had the res from Nightclaw, but unfortunately they were locked under tower. And kind of the tragic thing is, because Fallen was able to live there and pick up that kill, that was just a shutdown. Just extra bounty boosting going over to Raikou, who gets a little bit of extra gold in their pocket for literally nothing, as the spicy minion.
Oh, big caution! Huge cask! Looking for a little bit more damage. It's gonna be the Q! To get the solo bolo onto Lizzo, and this is what I was talking about, right? You win the first 5 levels, and then everything after that is just Gragas all the way.
Good stuff. I'm glad that we picked. I'm glad we picked York, folks.
Bit of an overstay here, though. We knew Fallen was topside because he just forced out F equals, so now Vaycaution has to find his way out. Nice nice knockback there, and the phase rush.
The phase rush.
Barely dodging out on the
out.
slow means he's gonna be able to make it out. Okay. Big man got moves on the dance floor right there.
Yeah, Fat Man schmoovin'. Well, now we know that the top lane skill list is Goat Chicken, Best, then Vaycaution, then Lizzo. So we've solved that mystery for sure here, as Lizzo is having a rough go of it, and Vaycaution looking very solid this game on the Gragas. Very impressed. I do like a good Gragas being delivered on the Rift here. Looking around the map here, the first round of grubs went over to the Imperials. The first Drake has not been touched yet. Neither team has opted to go for that. Kayn update. Kayn has become a champion. Before 10 minutes,
the
good
opportunity.
time.
I like this
Good
too.
time.
Going for the opportunity is good, right? Obviously not going to get the movement speed from the Ghost Blade or the stacks from the Hubris, but opportunity is going to give you so much more burst and so much more opportunity to snowball this game. Nice shield from Death. Unfortunately, it's going to be the ult, barely making it out. Thanks to F equals coming in to save him. Nice heal and a mantra shield, going to be able to save his life. Very scared there because I think if Fallen picks up that kill, the entire game just goes completely sideways. They get full priority on that Drake. Raikou can't save that tower. They get to invade. They get to do basically whatever they want. Living there means that while they do have priority, you still have ways back in. And there's actually a gold lead because of the shutdown and the massive CS leads.
Yeah, the CS leads are absolutely a difference. We'll see if
Oh,
Caution can come
Caution.
at Lizzo like a dark horse here.
Are
you ready
has to be
for
careful, though. The
the
maiden
perfect storm?
running him down.
The maiden! Oh!
Not quite. Nice cast, though. Tried to knock him back into that tower. Unfortunately, not able to get the kill. And the maiden just does so much damage.
That was... I would not feel good about backing in that spot against Yorick. I feel like if Lizzo walks up, he just throws the ghoulies at you, and you get grabbed by the ghoulies, and it's no good.
Yeah.
We do have Caution TPing back in here to stop Lizzo from getting any more whacks on that turret. Drake will get started. Fallen is here, though. We're going to see
but
the
Swedish
collapse
has
here.
rotation, and so does Death.
Yeah. Imperials first on the move, but Swedish might actually not be in a favorable spot. Fallen is very dangerous.
Yeah, trap between Fallen and Nico with ult and flash is not really where you want to be. Now they're trying to collapse, finding the pick onto Ethereal, gonna force out the ultimate. Beautiful wall there from Ethereal Ice to cut Fallen off for the rest of his team. Berserk goes out, but it's only going to land on the people who don't auto. Raikou now finally going up. Without any mana, it's not as massive. Ethereal Ice has to be careful. Big damage coming out, but not quite going to go down. Now Fallen has to be careful, though. Shoved back into the rest of the team. F equals there. Pulled right back in with the handshake. Melee Bane finally here. Pops the on the hunt. Gets a lot of movement speed, forcing the flash out of F equals. Swedish Pancakes has to kite back. Fallen flashing forward. Not going to be able to pick it up with the Dark Harvest. Looking for a little bit more. Goes into the ultimate. Looking for the damage. Beautiful Q there from Melee Bane to get Raikou just in range.
A minion has slain Ethereal Ice.
And Fallen slays F equals on the back end of that fight as he tries to go for it. Now, even more Melee Bane without on the hunt, without the flash. It's going to be the Gragas landing a nice cask. The Dark Harvest, not enough to finish off Swedish Pancakes either. Fallen just farming this Dark Harvest, but not quite able to find all these really low health bars that you'd really like to find one person. Gonna go for another one. Swedish Pancakes, not gonna be enough. That's finally gonna finish him off.
All right, Kane's actually the best champion in League of Legends, folks.
And the first turret means that it will be Spartans picking up feats.
Okay, all right. This draft is actually really good. We knew it was gonna be good from the start. Neither of us had any criticism.
Okay, we're gonna use our E into the Yorick wall, but hit Ghoul instead. Fallen kills another one. Why is Raikou in the enemy jungle? Who knows? Remember how I said Kane in this draft relies extremely on Imperials making a lot more mistakes than making Spartans? Yeah, why the hell is Raikou at the enemy bush in their jungle? What?
There are some
genuinely why is he there? Like, that's so insane to me.
I'd like to say some things, but you know, for the sake of the audience, I will not.
F equals.
For the sake of Raikou, I will not. Okay, F equals.
Okay, gonna get hit with the suppression. Not using flash just yet. Don't know about that one. Saving flash for next game, Lizzo?
No, we're gonna kill somebody here.
Not gonna kill anybody. Huh?
There's some baffling maneuvers being made this game.
We could have flashed like any 3 of the thing that F equals did there and made it out and lived.
We don't need to.
Like,
we don't need to. We don't need to. You wouldn't get it. Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't. They need to finish off this last scrub though, or they're not going to be able to get the Zig scrubs.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think they're getting to it in time. Kane has arrived, and he is dangerous.
Ice over the wall. Raikou's caught in a bad spot again. Ethereal Ice with a huge 4-man Pop Blossom, followed up by Nightclaw. Oh man, what a beauty that was. Fallen looking for a little bit more, just gonna keep running back in. Caution on the backside, trying to find the Baba. Unfortunately, he's launched himself into the middle of 3 people, and I don't think it's gonna be even remotely close to enough. Fallen still can go over the wall to land a little bit more. Gonna force the flash out, but it's Fallen going unstoppable with another kill. Beautiful knock up there from Ice into the hostile takeover from Renata. Now 7-1 on the Kane. 0-0-7 on the Renata. Just so many great plays from the Spartans. Totally different showing from what we saw last game.
Yeah, Fallen Kane is the best champion in the format. We know that Kane is great. This is what the Fallen experience is you see a game where he's wildly unimpressive, and then the next game he just like remembers how to play League of Legends, and he comes back and he goes crazy. And this is his crazy game right here. He found kind of the perfect opportunities to start scaling off of this Kayn, to start snowballing super hard. Not scaling, snowballing off of the Kayn here. And sort of snowballing off of Raikou and Death being a little bit too ambitious in the bot lane in terms of their positioning and their movement, which has just allowed this Kayn to accelerate so fast. And with Kayn being accelerated, it's very easy to spread the love around the map. So even if, you know, Raikou still has a pretty sizable CS lead, or even if Swedish Pancakes is doing fine in the mid lane, even if Lizzo is being kind of neutralized in the side lane, Fallen can very easily just aggress on whatever side needs to be taken care of, because the only person that survives is F equals. The other players just aren't tanky enough yet, or will never be tanky enough to survive this Kayn. It's going to take a while, and it's going to probably require Karma just to be on shield duty. And yeah, if you're on a side lane alone, Fallen will find you, and he will kill you.
Through the Seraph shield, too. Like, that was just an insane one-shot. Didn't even need to ult. And this is the problem now, right? Is like, okay, you go for the Herald. F equals can't farm. Death. Why? Like, why are we here?
His namesake.
Okay, flashing over the wall, like, thankfully being able to live there, but it's now, you now have to worry, you're getting collapsed on.
Aw, man, aw, man. Okay.
No, there's no way they steal, but now they have to get out. Raikou in a bit of a bad spot.
Bot lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, bot lane, this was what I was about to say. Fallen going forward, looking for more. Raikou just is gonna die once again. Fallen has been so good about collapsing on everyone's game, and this is what I was about to mention, right? Fallen, you know, they get the Herald. Fallen cleared out the bot side. Now gonna take the Wolves. Lizzo's just been split pushing. Like, look at the CS lead in the jungle. F equals doesn't even have the item done, and Fallen's just taking all his camps now. Like, this is unplayable for Skarner at this point. It's a 3,000 gold lead. Try and find Lizzo. Lizzo, smart enough to leave, listens to his teammates and side mates. Lizzo, he's coming. Please leave this time. He's like, all right, I'll for just this once, I won't try and take a stupid 1v2.
Yeah, a huge lead. Well, not. Yeah, you know, a huge lead for the side.
It's a pretty huge lead. It's over. It's almost over. It's almost 5,000 at this point, with a ton of snowballing potential. If you're able to get the second drag, I think that's really where it starts to get a little bit crazy. Just putting yourself on those objective markers. Ah, the 1 in 6. The 1 in 6 MF is doing me in. It's just, it's so rough.
We stop picking Misfortune. I don't want to see it. We can't see Misfortune like this. This is not real. Yeah, so looking kind of at the map. Yeah, looking at the map right now, it's going to be another pretty easy Drake going over to Fallen. And there really isn't a whole lot the Imperials can do, because their 4v4 is in complete shambles. If anybody's on a side lane, Fallen is so accelerated that he can just walk over there and kill them, clearing a path for the Yorick to just start cleaning up the game on the side lane. And I imagine this is kind of the idea behind picking the Kayn with the Yorick, is to do that, you know, set up for Kayn to run over, kill a singular gamer, and make it happen. And now Lizzo is going to be a singular gamer in danger.
Flash forward, Vay caution, a flash answered to stay alive, but unfortunately Ice is here to back up teammate. Lizzo still alive. Nightclaw, nice handshake before Vay gets over the wall, and Ice gonna pick up another kill on that one. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Fallen just picking off Swedish Pancakes under the tower. Once again, doesn't need ultimate. Can straight up one-shot the Taliyah, 3 Seraphs under tower. At this point, it feels like the game's over. Lizzo just has complete priority in whatever lane they want. Fallen can split push too, because he could just run down everybody. He could clear the waves. He's strong enough. He can clear all the camps. He's strong enough. Can dive anybody who's squishy. He's strong enough. Now Ruinous Otacon spawned. That's going to give all those petals, going to give all that extra XP that was already so far in the advantage of the Spartans, right? Fallen 4 levels up on F equals and just farming his jungle more than his own, right? F equals just doesn't have access to the jungle anymore.
Yeah, so we are now looking at looking down the barrel of a near 9,000 gold lead here, as the 11-1. Oh, we have an imposter among us. I don't know if, all right, we're not gonna try and play shenanigans here. We're not gonna play reindeer games. We're gonna just get out of here as Fallen has acquired some hubris out of this game. We'll see if it's the punishing kind or merely the item kind, as the Otacon will get started. I imagine there's no way they can even fathom contesting this, as the whole map for the Imperials is in tatters. Just, it's so hard. They literally can't play up because at any time, if you don't have Karma next to you, you're dead. And that is going to be, this ended up being a Ravenous Otacon. So the flowers will be picked up by the side of the Spartans, and that is going to be big because it gives them even more power that they, more than they already had, to just punch a hole through the entirety of the Imperials roster. And yeah, I don't really necessarily know what to say. I don't know how the Imperials come back from this. They're going to keep trying to pick Lizzo, but I feel like it's a, you know, it's not going to do what they want it to.
Yeah, Lizzo now in the 1v4 has sort of resigned himself, but is realizing that maybe he can take one person out before he goes down. That person is looking to be Fate Caution right now. Unfortunately, just put into the bounce house, and Raiku's going to be able to pick up the kill. Something, consolation prize, but unfortunately, is at this point in the game, it really just feels like too little, too late. Your Herald's getting answered. Fallen can do whatever he wants, just waiting for Swedish Pancakes to show his face. The second he does, Fallen's going to take advantage of that. Look at that. Waiting, just waiting. Knows exactly where Swedish is. Gonna see him on the map, and oh, missing the W. Still gonna use the ultimate. Gonna be able to, no, barely gonna make it out. Swedish Pancakes, with the flash of the Seraphs, will manage to live. With Fallen missing an ability. If he did not, the Swedish would have died. Not looking great. Not beneficial. You know, at this point in the game, it's like what you want to say. It's like, how do we win? But like, it really is just Spartans need to screw up like 10 times in a row. And this might be the start, though. Ethereal Ice falling very low. Flash Plot Blossom, though, to finish off the kill. Getting out with a clone, not a great hostile takeover, and unfortunately knocked back with the cast is going to lead to Ethereal Ice dropping a very low health bar, but the extra movement speed from the Renata W going to be able to get Ethereal Ice out. And, yeah,
Ethereal Ice
no screw up.
escapes. Meanwhile, Fallen on the side. This is actually a 1-3-1 comp, believe it or not. Because who do you send to stop Fallen? He kills you. He just
look how
kills
little.
you.
Look at the pitiful damage that Swedish Pancakes is doing at this point.
Oh, this
Lynn did,
adorable
like, 3
Talia champion.
Actually just tickling Fallen. And look, he went back into the wall and he's almost full health again.
Yeah. It's Kane
16 Dark
Kane,
Harvest stacks? 16 Dark Harvest stacks.
Maybe Kane is a good champion.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I didn't know his game.
I'm very disappointed after the game 1, seeing how Imperials have played this. I feel like they just got way too cocky, and like they were not really thinking about what their game plan had to be. Which don't let Kane gank you for free 5 times. Lizzo, Lizzo, not again. Swedish Pancakes takes the wall up. Lizzo falling low, will eventually go down. Unfortunately, it will be giving Soul Point over to the Spartans.
This is how you know Lizzo's just like listening to his own music, just, you know, deaf muted, you know, playing his own game.
But you know, it's working. He's literally just like, dude, I don't care.
He's in the zone.
They're sending 4 people. He's literally saying they're sending 4 people to me. Just fall and keep doing your thing. I don't. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's
Big caution.
again, I'm not really sure of how the Imperials get back here, aside from they start actually winning fights.
You need
but-
a miracle impale into a massive bullet time just to maybe get back in. And the way you get that impale probably also has to be off of a miracle cast to put them back into your team, because Spartans just aren't giving them the ranges that they need to get in right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of the... that's going to be just what they have to accept here. They're going to try and get a bounty here off of the mid lane turret. They do have the 5 grubbins, so it will be taken down, but guess who found an opportunity to go onto a side lane? It is Fallen.
And it's Fallen once
and
again.
he's gonna just
Split pushing
clean-
Kane. Level 17 to level 12. Flame Horizoning, by the way. Like, that equals his Flame Horizon at this point.
Yeah, it is a rough one for sure. As Caution
Did they
doing what
finally
they
have the
can.
collapse?
Okay, they might have a collapse into Fallen here. This is a start.
No, just use the impale. Why are you holding it?
We're saving it for next game. Saving it for next game.
Caution, no. Nice knock up. Big bullet time, but unfortunately everyone's away. Fallen able to get back. Nice hostile takeover. Takes 3 out of the fight. Nightclaw walking forward, getting a lot of stuns. Nice locket shield can prevent most of the damage. Now they're just trying to clear the waves, but a huge E gonna send all the ghouls after F80. Now Ice going in, forcing the flash out of Raikou. Unfortunately, the wave is gone, but Spartans have effectively forced back the entire Imperial squad as they look for the Baron.
Yeah, the Baron will be next on the... It'll be next in the menu here for the side of the Spartans. They have total control of the map. They have 2 inhibs down. The Imperials are just pinned in their base with nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And Lizzo is just gonna... Bay Caution's getting grabbed by the ghoulies here. I'd like to fix it my previous statement. It's actually Boat Chicken, still the best. And then Lizzo, then Bay Caution in terms of the ranking of these 3 top laners, including
Subject to change
one
for
who is
game
not
3. Subject to change.
Subject to change for game 3. Yeah, we'll see what happens here with maybe we're saving Lilia for game 3. Maybe they just knew.
I mean, maybe. I mean, look, the strategy for Fearless really is just don't save champions. That's not like... People were thinking that originally, and then every coach and every person who's drafted is like, actually, is there really any, like, real point to holding champions? Like, probably not. Like, there are enough champions in the game that, like, it makes it interesting, but you don't have to, like, save champions. And also, the big thing here, like, we're already talking about in game 3. We've resigned ourselves. Like, we both know how this is shaping out. 7,000 gold difference, soul point coming up, Baron up. Fallen has to straight disconnect. Fallen has to leave the game and not come back in order to lose at this point. Raikou's dead. Like, Raikou's just dead.
Yep, good night.
I close my eyes. Look at that.
Good night, everyone.
I saw 16 gold. I don't even know if that's a minion at this point. That might be Raikou.
That was definitely a ranged minion for Raikou here. I feel like the ranged minion killed Ethereal Ice earlier in the game, so...
That's true.
That is equal to the quality of...
Their plan at this point is literally just to tilt Lizzo for game 3.
That's the goal.
The
But it's
goal
not
here
gonna
is
work.
to put Lizzo on tilt watch for game 3. Like, they've accepted the loss. They're like, okay, how do we destroy Lizzo's mental for game 3? Because we've already lost this one. Like, they're already planning ahead.
Yeah, they're thinking about the game 3 mental draft strategy, because I mean anyone with eyes can kind of observe here that barring a like divine intervention, and even then I'm not sure if the Spartans can lose unless it's Fallen exactly who ends up getting taken away in mid-series, but. I can't say that Fallen has committed any crimes other than several counts of murder in the first degree in this game, which is perfectly fine. We all signed up to get killed, so it's you waived your rights at some point or something. I'm not a lawyer though, so don't ask me. This is gonna be Soul here, Mountain Soul. No reason to pretend. We can't.
Oh, Death is walking up, though.
There's no way.
So is F equals.
This is gonna be funny. All right, actually, this is gonna be very
They
funny.
need a vision. They need vision. They're not putting wards on
They don't
it.
have flash. They don't have flash. They don't have anything. Never mind. It's not funny. We didn't even make an attempt. Come on, you have mantra Q. At least make him sweat a little bit.
Hey,
The Imperials have disappointed me this game.
they have.
Man.
The big thing here is like, I don't feel like Spartans are playing with their food. Like I feel like they just don't really know how to end, which gives Imperials hope. But like, it also makes me worried for the Spartans because like this game should have been over like 3 minutes ago when they had like. What are they waiting for? They can just win.
They're waiting for
Like you can at least just send Lizzo top
next
and send 4
Baron.
people bot lane, right? If you
Surely
send
we
Lizzo
can
top
win
here,
and surely we can win without Baron, right? We have so much here. And I guess this is probably the problem with the comp, right? This is one of the things we were talking about.
I don't think it's a problem. I think this is an execution issue. Like Lizzo goes top, 4 people go bot. They at least get the extra in, right? Like they at least triple inhib here. But they're just like walking together and like with Lizzo now they're grouping up, with the Baron play, but I just it took a while. And now we're back Fallen looking. Okay, we're looking for the pick. We're looking for death here. Going in on the Swedish Pancakes though. I'm caught in the middle of 4. Has to back out here. Nice flash forward from Ice. Can be able to finally finish off death. But a nice flash is going to save the life. Unfortunately, it's going to be Bait Caution going down for
and that's
F equals following shortly after. Swedish Pancakes barely survives the Ignite. Unfortunately, the last fadeaway W from Fallen going to take out Death as a support. Raikou forced to flash out just for a little bit more. Swedish Pancakes trying to land the Q, but it is just a tickle at this point. And the Nexus will fall shortly after. Spartans finishing up the series 1-1, taking us to game 3.
Yeah, it is gonna be. I don't know what to say. I have no words. The Imperials, you have done the impossible. I can't believe you lost. I'm flabbergasted. I'm befuddled, as it were. You're making me stay up an extra hour here. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find all of you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What's gonna happen when I find you? But I'm gonna find you.
I mean, I maintain that this was more on the mistakes of Imperials than like the success of Spartans, but also, like, I need to give props to Fallen at some point, right? Like, at some point,
Yes.
you have to recognize, like,
Fallen
14-1 is not a fluke. Fallen really did not capitalized on the mistakes as, right, like, obviously it was a lot of capitalizing on mistakes, but Fallen also making very, very few mistakes, right? Making sure to not give away those shutdowns, like, gave away one shutdown and said, okay, I'm not dying for the rest of the game, right? Like, really just playing his ranges very well, knowing when he could go in, knowing when it was just a little bit too deep, making sure to not throw the game away, and making sure to keep that snowball going as long as possible. Now, I think they lasted the game a little bit long, but, eventually just closing it out there with that Baron buff and making sure that they could march it to safety, march it down, and thank God, York is now unavailable to be picked in Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, the Yorick was not in the game. This was a 4v5, and Lizzo was here too. Yeah, I don't really know what Lizzo did aside from absorb pressure, which is not nothing, I guess, but it's really just like hit some turrets a bit, but overall, I feel like, a large siege minion could have accomplished as much as Lizzo did this game in the Yorick. So, hopefully, Lizzo does something else next game. Or, maybe we'll just play a Yorick-esque champion and go crazy. We'll just absorb, 9 players in top lane as Fallen gets picks on Raikou walking into the jungle randomly on their own. So, we'll see. We'll have to see about that. Lizzo knows something I don't. I am afraid of Lizzo's aura, is what is true. With that said, we're going to go to a quick break as we set up for Game 3. Stick around. Hopefully this next draft will bring us something interesting to chew on, as it were.
All right, welcome back in drafts for game 3. Becky is officially in the Death Realm.
Yeah,
Mordard
we've-
from beyond the Fearless ban.
Yeah, we've reached game 3, which of course means I am now in the Death Realm, as it were. That's okay. We'll get through it together. You know, Mord got me. I was punished for my insolence, not believing in Kane, the best champion in the format, as we know. So you know, this game we're gonna hopefully see a better showing from the Imperials, who were really disappointing in that last game. But also, hopefully, we can see another great performance from Fallen, who looked crazy here. And the melee vein on the Ashe in this game, realizing their job is to be a supportive AD carry in this one, and just picking up the Ashe here as B1. Imperials gonna go for maybe their bot lane. Hui is an option. I don't know. I think Raikou does play that, so Swedish Pancakes plays it as well, so this could be a flex. But the Hui, good champion, does a lot of crazy things. I do like the early Hui here. I believe it is also a pick away from Ice, who also plays it, and
Yep.
oh boy, it's him, the Nightmare Man.
Don't know how I'm feeling about this R2 Nocturne. Look, if we can get another pick, if we can get a good R3 here, I'm happy with it. Also, realistically, Imperials won both drafts, right? Game 2 was a pilot issue. That was straight up just a skill issue. Right? It's not the end of the world. I think there's a lot of ways this could work. The Lulu here I do like. It's completely taking away the chance for something like a hyper carry plus a Lulu situation. Also augmenting the Ashe quite well, and also going to make that Nocturne dive significantly less scary.
Yeah, that's the main thing here is Lulu has now negated the Nocturne champion. Congratulations, this is why you don't early pick Nocturne. Nocturne is no longer a threat, unless he decides, as it turns out, unless Lulu is not next to the person you click Paranoia on, she is just going to negate all of your bursts. And then what do you do? At least the Paranoia is a good button. You can turning off the lights is a lot of, as I can tell you from personal experience here, turning off the lights is a lot of good utility as Nocturne. You can get a lot done here, and unsurprisingly, the Imperials are going to be targeting the fallen champions here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lilia next on the list. I do miss Evelyn and Lilia, as I wrote in my apology form, which I sent to Fallen.
Fallen apology form. I wasn't familiar with your game.
I Mercury was in retrograde. I don't have an excuse.
Okay, we're banning
Lilia's
Kindred.
still open.
I have to assume that means we have something for the Lilia, because currently this comp kind of very easy to run circles around. We already have the Ashe, the Ahri, and the Lulu locked in. That makes me a bit worried. We have to have a good... I'm expecting a good R4 here. Otherwise, I don't know if Imperials got another crazy draft in them, because from right now, what I'm seeing, not looking great. A lot of ways to deal with everything that they're trying to do, and not a lot of ways to actually get in and utilize their strengths right now.
Yeah, I'm curious if maybe banning the Lilia over the Evelyn was probably a better idea if the Lilia gets picked up here. Just because Evelyn is a champion that is a lot less good than Lilia. Is a champion that has worse buttons than Lilia does. She's a little scary, but I mean, you have Nocturne. I thought the point was you were supposed to be scary, but they might not even pick the Lilia. Fallen could have something completely out of the ordinary planned here. The Garen
I was about to say, I'm expecting a Lilia and some weird bruiser split. I was literally gonna call it Lilia Garen right then, because I'm looking through the champs that Lizzo still plays. I'm there's no way he's gonna accept Orange Duty after last game.
Yeah,
he's either on the Garen or the Darius. No, he's either on the Garen or the Darius this game. And I really do think if you have a Lilia option, here it is. You have so many ways to dance around. There's not really a top pick left in the game for it.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, never mind. Hold up. I'm
I
interested.
like it. It's cooking.
I'm invested.
I still think the Lilia is better. You just have so many ways to run around, but I get it. Not wanting to deal with the Leon as Lilia, that's fine. I still think the draft is better at this point. I think, unless Imperials really shock me here, which I don't think they're going to do, I'm not expecting anything too crazy. I'm expecting that we're either going to get a neutralizing matchup or a second bruiser to fight it, and yeah. Just going to try answering the side lane. It's fine. I don't... This is a skill matchup. This is a skill matchup. This is a 100% skill matchup for the Fiora.
Does Vay Caution have the sauce?
Does Vay Caution have the sauce? And like the rest of Imperials, like they're if everyone's staying in the side lane, like Imperials 4 should theoretically lose to Spartans 4. Like they shouldn't win. There should just be too many ways to get around them and not enough ways for them to get in. But
yeah, there's
I've been wrong before. See last game, so
I think the 4v4, if we're assuming Garen and Fiora are not going to be participating, the 4v4 is the Spartans have a million ways to get away, and the Imperials have a few ways to get in. But the ways that the Imperials have to get in are super telegraphed, and that makes it really difficult because you're playing into Ashe, you're playing into Lulu, you're playing into Echo even.
And it's hard to...
His big slow bubble is a really great zoning tool.
Yeah.
It is really rough, and the bot lane matchup is just kind of tough for the Jhin here.
Not to mention the arrow. Like, the arrow plus Ahri and Echo means, like, yeah, you have the range advantage, but there's so many ways to get hit from, like, 3 different angles that it's hard to, like, really commit to to a poke or, like, a real engage without just getting jumped, right? Jhin goes into curtain call, boom, charmed and dead.
Yeah.
Huey tries to channel a severing bolt for 0.5 second, boom, charmed and dead, right? Like, there's just too many ways for Spartans to get in that I really worry if Imperials are going to be able to capitalize on their strengths without just getting overwhelmed by their own weaknesses.
Yeah, I like the Spartans draft here more, which means, of course, the Imperials are going to win, because that is the world we live in. And these are the things we're given. So it's... I don't know. I don't fully understand some of these draft choices, but I didn't understand last game, and I filled out an apology form as a result. So, we'll see if I have to write an apology form for Raikou and the Imperials this game, because I don't see the vision. I think the Spartans are just going to win this game off of the champs they have. They just have champions that do their jobs better than what the Imperials have.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we just got to cut it to a break, because at this point, we talk about the dress. I favor Spartans, but also, again, that means, Imperials are winning, so one day the team with the winning draft will actually win the game. One of these days. But until that day, we're going to cut it to a short break. When we come back, we'll be in-game for Game 3. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Game 3, our series, the Imperials versus the Spartans down the Ruby Division. Both teams 1-1, looking to pull through and take the series. Last game, pretty dominant. Fallen completely wiping the floor with F equals throughout the entire game, ending up in a Flame Horizon, a massive 5-level advantage. And, definitely wants to do that again, but we'll see if he can get it done. Both teams going a bit more interesting decisions in draft. I don't think, it was as egregious as last time, but, hey, and they won anyway, so we'll have to see what ends up happening. The Garen versus the Fiora, definitely the matchup to watch, though.
Yeah, Garen, Fiora. We'll get a look here at who is the superior top laner, which will allow us to complete our rankings here. But it doesn't even matter when we know that Goat Chicken is always on top. Ward being placed by Swedish Pancakes, so they'll have an idea of where Fallen is going to be starting here. Same for the other side, who have... and the Imperials are aware of this ward. They know that they're going to be spotted out here, but, I mean, Raptors is just similar to the Kayn. Raptors for Nocturne is a really easy camp to take. So you are better off starting it than just starting a buff, because it's a bit faster to take your buff if you also have the fear in your pocket to help you just get that extra attack speed. So we'll have to keep an eye on where these junglers, and what time these junglers reach their bot side. It looks like they're both going to be clearing towards bot. That's where I imagine a lot of pressure is going to be applied. And speaking of pressure, Raikou is certainly feeling it right now. as Melee Vayne and Nightclaw are, you know, they're putting him in they're clamping him in irons, as it were. He's not having a good time down here with the Leona. Who could have seen this one coming?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we expected, but it's still unfortunate to watch, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see for sure. We saw Raikou play so well in the first game and just kind of floundered in game 2 super hard, and now picked into an unfavorable situation here in game 3 as in the mid lane is going to be pretty standard between these two champions. Ice performs fairly well on that. Okay, we have a bit of a scuffle in top lane. HP bars are a little low. We're chugging potions.
Yeah.
We're
Lizzo using the regen and Vay like looking for those marks. Like, it's not quite enough for a dive yet, but like it's getting close enough that there's like real fear of like just killing someone under tower at this point. Nice deep ward there. F equals is gonna spot out both Ethereal and Nightclaw on the roam. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to get that.
Okay.
Nice flash there from Sushi Pancakes to dodge the flash charm. Nightclaw
So
there,
3v3
but
in mid before 4 minutes.
we're seeing the flash out of Nightclaw too, so 2 flashes for 1 flash overall, not a bad trade. You're happy with that if you're Imperials.
Yeah, you're okay with that. You walk away, feeling fine, taking those 2 flashes. Very interesting to see a 3v3 at 4 minutes here. League of Legends has evolved as Lulu might be in danger.
Yeah, not looking good. Nightclaw without a flash, caught in the rotation back to bot lane, forced to use the exhaust as well, and will still go down for it. The bright side, no flashes used either. Death just having to use the ignite, but still being able to pick up first blood for the Imperials. Giving it over to the Leona, you know, would have preferred it on the carries, but Leona, there's worse support champs to have it on, right? Being able to get your Leona some tank stats or a big, you know, acceleration on boots is a very strong thing to have early on.
Yeah,
full symbiotic souls, that's huge.
Oh, yeah, it is. Getting the symbiotic souls this early as Leona is going to open up so many opportunities for her to start looking around the map way sooner than she would otherwise. And that is going to really help the Imperials start to play a bit aggressively, especially because what we really want to see here is this jungle support duo of Death and F equals actually getting stuff done. And it turns out, you know, the Leona and Nocturne are very dangerous if they can just get on you and kill you. And they are certainly going to be able to do that. It's going to make it difficult. At least Ice, probably the primary target of that kind of play, has the ability to get away from that one. You know, all I gotta say is, if you wanted to avoid walking into getting killed in your jungle, I bet there's a video to help you out with that one. Maybe check that one out when you got time. Anyways, Death is gonna be flashing in.
Flash forward, follow up with the Deadly Flourish, and Nightclaw once again with no flash. Gonna be a flash from F equals just to ensure the fear, and they are gonna give that one over to the Nocturne this time.
Should've
2 kills
watched the
picked
video.
up on the board for Imperials. 1 more for Feat of Warfare is all they need. Good play there from Death. I like the aggression there, knowing that Nightclaw still doesn't have the flash and that they're able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of the good things about Nocturne, is he is very much able to play aggressively. And Echo is going to be a slower AP full clear jungler. He's playing a lot more like an Evelynn or a Lilia than something else. Lizzo winning the 1v1 in top lane as we are observing Fallen here. No flashes.
Here.
That was an honest 1v1 in top lane. No flashes. It was just Lizzo winning out on that one. As we do have a steal going.
Will be F equals picking it up. No steal to be had. Fallen has to be careful though. Over the wall goes Ethereal Ice.
Oh,
Looking
Death.
for some more with it, and Death is going to go down, be the sacrificial lamb. But they will make it out alive. Unfortunately, kills evened up because of a nice 1v1 from Lizzo on the top side. It means that Imperials still even in terms of feat of warfare. So it really will just be next kill. They don't have that 1 kill buffer advantage anymore, but they will be able to pick up the dragon, and that's absolutely massive for them.
Now that I look at it, Vey Caution has the grasp here into the Garen. I don't necessarily know what you go on the Fiora, but I feel like if you're looking to scuffle with Garen, you probably want to match Conk for Conk, right?
Sort of. Grasp is one of those things that like allows hit and run tactics, because you just go in with the Q, you get the grasp proc because Q procs grasp, and then you get to like run away and you keep getting to sustain. You get to take very aggressive trades because you can just like match the healing of the Garen. I think it's a like if you're devoted to being in a side lane, I think it's fine. But Fallen going in now with the E, looking around that W, trying to play around, and unfortunately Lizzo on the backside, gonna be able to find the flank, looking for death, lands the Q, and now is just spinning to win. It's Fallen and Nightclaw chasing down the rest, and F equals goes down as well. Fallen now with the triple kill in his pocket. Vey Caution gonna be able to find his way back under tower, but Fallen was able to pick up all those kills and is now wrapping around for a potential dive here. Vey Caution with no riposte, not gonna be able to make it out alive in this one. The polymorph comes down, and the sword from the sky gonna be able to take out Lizzo Mukbang. Fallen going right back with the ultimate. Huge fight win there for the Imperials.
Yeah, the roam from death playing with F equals. They decided to go a little far forward onto what they thought was a pick onto Fallen, but it ended up just kind of being a complete waste of their time, as they ended up getting caught in the river, and Lizzo had priority in top. So Lizzo was very easily able to just roam down, be the big man on campus, and spin all over what the Imperials roster had. On the bright side, they did pick up all 3 Grubbins, so they have the first two neutral objectives, but the Spartans got that other feat of warfare with the 3 kills.
Uh-oh.
Gonna take down the turrets here as we have a gank.
F equals forcing the flash out of melee vein, but didn't see the wraparound from Raikou, and Death gonna be falling down there. Raikou not gonna be able to get a second, but picking up that kill on the Ashe is absolutely massive. Forcing out both the sums as well, really, really big. And I worry because I've seen this story before. Fallen has 4 stacks on the Dark Seal once again, just like just like game 1.
Yeah, he's stacking. He's stacking the Dark Seal. Will it be a win or will it be a loss? I do think it is certainly better for Fallen in this game. Echo just is a little bit safer in terms of having the ability to get out of dodge if he isn't completely locked down. And aside from Leona, exactly, there isn't a lot of lockdown. A hunter must hunt.
Yeah. And you can see so playing really well with that W, getting the extra resistances every time that they goes for a quick trade. And even if they manage to get the riposte onto the Q, Garen just has enough damage now, right? Has the match team out, has the phage, and also has the Bramble Vest to get that extra armor and reduce the healing of Vey Caution. Is going to help a lot.
Oh,
Arrow
Wonder
going
Shot.
a little bit wide from melee vein. So
Wonder Shot. I think Wonder Shot hit F equals on
oh yeah, the back stopped, and he's just not moving.
he got hit on his jungle camp. It's kind of funny. It's not like a good ulti. I imagine that was aimed up at Vey Caution.
Oh yeah.
To try
I think it was aimed at Swedish, because there was 3 people focused around mid, and you could see Fallen early pop the W to try and find it, and just not able to secure it.
Okay. Well, in either case, the Wonder Shot does connect onto the poor old Nocturne who's just trying to kill a jungle camp. The funnier thing was if the arrow stole the jungle camp. That would have been more amusing. But we did not see that, as Fallen is going to be challenged grandly.
Yeah, not going to be able to land it. Lizzo with the flash Q. Gonna take the kill. Fallen was probably fine. I think had the extra shields, but honestly, just making sure that Lizzo can get that extra kill. 0-3 on Vey Caution. Not a great look. Already having your side lane be this far ahead, having Fallen be 2-0 and 3. Not looking great, and probably going to be able to grab that turret on the top side if you're lucky. Now, the objective feat will go to Imperials with this 3rd dragon. However, because of all that extra tower pressure they have on the top side, it makes it really easy for Spartans at any point to just make another play, potentially dive that top side, take the tower, take feats, and just put Vaycaution entirely in the ground, right? Already, more so than they already are.
Yeah, it's looking a little in the dirt here for Vaycaution on the Fiora. We do have an engage.
Engage. Equals looking for more, gonna be able to grab it, but it's gonna be Death picking up the kill, unfortunately. Fallen, not using Flash to get out, but also didn't have the ultimate, so probably wasn't able to. It was a big shutdown, but it does go to Death, and unfortunately, you know, the gold,
Leona.
not too far, only less than a 2,000 gold difference, but you have to keep in mind, a lot of that gold is on your Leona, right? That's 700.
She has more gold than Fiora.
It's yeah, the Leona pretty much has the 2,100. Yeah, it's about a 1,700 gold advantage. So that 700 of that neutralization is onto your support.
Yeah, I can't wait to take a screenshot of the gold this game and put a crying emoji with Vaycaution having less money than Leona. It's gonna be very funny. Oh jeez, it's not looking good for old Fiora up here. I think the skill matchup has been decided for sure, as around the rest of the map, mid lane has been there's nothing happening zone, as Ice and Swedish Pancakes are just clearing waves into each other peacefully, playing a different game than the rest of the team here. Raikou is going to be playing a different game as well. Will not? Okay. We do have Oh, all right. Why was Leona on a horse? I thought that was Rel. I thought that was Rel for a second.
That's the high noon skin. You got the home guards animation.
Oh, okay. I see. So it's like, why is Rel here? I didn't know she was in this game. Okay. All right. I guess that's cool.
No, melee the Ash rides a horse here too. It's the high noon skin.
Well, you see, Ash is a bow. That's the difference. Ash is not a tank. Is very clearly not a tank.
Wait, you've never seen mounted cavalry with the sword and shield? That's like the whole knight thing.
Yeah, I've seen mounted cavalry with the sword and shield. I've played Fire Emblem. All right, I'm familiar with this.
Shout out Frederick the Goat. Charm up from Ethereal Ice though means the Swedish Pancake's not going to be able to get out. You are not Robin. You do not have Frederick as backup. You are dead in the mid lane.
Pick a god and
cavalry
pray,
was not
buddy.
there in time.
Pick a god and pray.
Pick a god and pray.
Speaking of gods and praying,
F equals?
F equals. We okay? Did the check clear? Is that why we did that?
We forgot that spell shield does not block 4 abilities at once.
Yeah, you aren't Mel, buddy. Better luck next time. Be a champion designed in 2024.
Is Death next? Is Death next? They're waiting for it. Is Death next?
Are we opting?
They're waiting for the tower. There's the polymorph. Ethereal Ice going forward with the stun. Lands the char. Melee Vein getting some extra slows. The W resistances are so good, but it might not be enough. Why are we going up there? Alright, cap it. Game's over.
The timing on that pause.
Yo, my support's ending. Can we get this guy out of here, please?
Bro, what is he doing? He's crazy. These supports are diamond, by the way. I want everyone in the audience to know that both of our supports, Nightclaw and Death, are both diamond players. Oh jeez, oh man.
I actually screwed that. That is, I don't know if he makes it out, but at least the tower shot's out. Like what?
Why did we do that? Ruby always impresses me. What I feel like I've seen
this is why this is the real league, everyone. This is why.
I feel like I've seen the dumbest thing I've seen all day, and then I see something even dumber.
And then you realize you have 2 more games to go.
Thank God this isn't a BO5.
Oh my God, I'd be jumping out of a window.
I don't think I could take a BO5. I'm calling in Chelsea. I'm getting out of this one again.
Calling in draft terrorist into 11-1 Belveth. They call her Coin Flip Cherry, baby. That's my new nickname, by the way. That's what we're calling her from now on. Coin Flip Cherry right there. Now, hopefully we can get the pause resolved. Oh, okay, we have it resolved. Yippee!
Yippee.
They just had to take Death out back for a sec. You know, give him a couple.
There was actually like a timeout. You know, they brought him
They
in.
had to put him in timeout for a sec.
They had to call the coach in and be like, have a heart-to-heart conversation.
No, because that was legit. That was a legitimate Valorant timeout where it's like, okay, you died. It's unfortunate. F equals runs in, dies. Death runs in, dies, and the Valorant coach. Like, the coach just had to call a timeout. Like, guys, what are you doing?
Guys, what are you doing, man?
What are you doing?
Last time I saw a timeout cause from a play that bad, one of the kids was starting to yell at a ref. It's not looking good. Anyways, Death is
I have no words. I have no words for that one. I mean, Death makes it out. Why? But why? Like, what's the point? What is that doing?
But why?
We're sacrificing. You know what? We sacrificed half of our health bar to get a ward down. That's the important part. Could be worse. I've definitely seen worse trades in Ruby.
Yeah, it's
Dragon getting pinged though, and it is Imperials who, if they get the drag, could be on soul point, but unfortunately, Spartans are pinging around it, they know, and now the fight's starting out. F equals putting down the lights, try and back it off, but Garen is in the thick of it, and Lizzo is looking for more. The Beyblade damage hits 2. Beautiful ultimate from Swedish Pancakes, but unfortunately the damage isn't quite there, and now it's a double for Melee Vayne, and Lizzo looking for one more, trying to find Raikou, who opens up the curtains, but doesn't realize that he's in the zone. Fallen can't make it out, though, and it's Raikou picking up his first kill of the game. Now Nightclaw and Lizzo trying to run for the hills. Unfortunately, there is no one to stop them. Vay Caution is there, looking over the hill, could potentially find something. You know, Melee Vayne Nightclaw very low. He decides to actually rotate on it. And Lizzo's not going to be there in time. Vay sees it on the ward, now wrapping around, sees it. Oh, this is over. Raikou with the flash can be able to take that one out. But it will be Melee Vayne picking up the dragon right as he goes down.
Oh,
nice shot down there onto Raikou, but unfortunately they are able to stop the dragon stacking for the Imperials, and that was your big win con that you needed to get that drag. You needed that play to work. Unfortunately, Melee Vayne being able to take it before he goes down is absolutely massive. Right now, Raikou 3-0-2 on the Jhin, you know, not bad, but the rest of the team just struggling to keep up in gold means that the damage just quite isn't there, right? Jhin is not going to be doing enough damage on his own to be able to cut through this Garen, to be able to cut through Fallen and his 2 health bars that he has with ult, to be able to cut through the Hugify from the Lulu, right? Like, it's really hard to actually find enough damage on Jhin to actually carry this game at this point.
Yeah, Jhin is not known for being a high-power damage-dealing hyper carry. I can't imagine that even with, you know, Raikou having a sufficient gold lead, or not even gold lead, having a sufficient couple of items here, it's Collector into Rapid Fire Canyon, which is, I mean, it's what you gotta do, but it's not super high power. Jhin and Ashe are two sides of the same coin in terms of being more enabling AD carry picks who can theoretically start pumping out mad DPS if in the right situation. But this is not the right situation for Jhin to start pumping out that mad DPS. Whereas Ashe, I mean, will be feeling fine. Being able to sort of kite out Death and F equals given the opportunity, will be able to actually start pumping out the mad DPS. And
Lizzo isn't even stuck in the side lane this game. Like, he's been joining up in the fights. He's been there. And I'm sorry, but your Jhin with Collector and RFC is not cutting through that Garen.
You're not. Garen is killing you to death.
That Garen is 3 levels up. You're not that guy. But now a nice Deadly Flourish means he is that guy. Raikou looking for the damage, gonna be able to finish off Melee Vayne. Nightclaw forced to run away. The TP's coming out too from the rest of the team just to make sure that Fallen can't get in. Gonna regroup around this Herald and try and make a play for it. Death dodging out on the charm. Gonna barely miss out on Nightclaw, but now the speed boost coming in. They're trying to chase it down, see if they can get a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be done. Melee Vayne up in 15 seconds. Now Vay Caution
just dying for nothing.
Yeah, just taking the scenic route, I guess, and being very worried for himself. Lizzo now looking in, can be able to land a stun onto F equals, and it is Lizzo in the back line of everybody. Now 2 kills picked up, falling over the wall, looking for the rest of the team. It's currently a triple so far 2 kills picked up. Swedish Pancake's forced to run. Fallen needs one more, but he's gonna be forced to ult out. Thankfully, Lizzo's there on the side. Ethereal Ice missing the skill shots, but it doesn't matter. Gonna be able to use the Spirit Rush, the Foxfire to pick up 2 more. A Quadra in the fight for Ice, and they will pick up an ace, and all it cost was Melee Vayne overextending in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was
brutal.
It looked all right for the Imperials there. They get an easy pick on Melee
Lizzo
Vayne.
showed up.
Yeah, they got an easy pick on the Melee Vayne, then they started moving up to the objective. They caution, what the kind of was baffling there is the Imperials tried to chase Nightclaw for like no gain. Like they were never in any dimension going to be able to catch the Lulu. So rather than peeling back and immediately going for the objective, they decide to go like send a couple of people to the objective and then send a couple of people chasing the Lulu for no reason, and as a result they caution ends up taking a ton of punishment on the side, and it delays the Imperials from actually making a decisive play. They had a window of opportunity. Lizzo was not out on the map fast enough. They could have actually, no, they couldn't have. They have Jhin. Jhin is useless. This champ is bad. They have Jhin. They wouldn't have been able to maybe have enough DPS, but at least it would have been a better attempt at potentially killing it.
Died the second that fight started. And now it's probably going to die again. No way has the movement speed to deal with Lizzo at this point. Just has to wait out that riposte. Nice silence there. Flash forward from Lizzo, and the true damage kills from 40%. Yeah, you're done, buddy. Vayne Caution does not get to play the game anymore. Does not get to have fun in the video game. And now Lizzo has TP to join if he wants. Can just split push infinitely. Spartans can win any fight. Like, it's just... And now you see Jhin on mid wave, so it doesn't matter. Nightclaw walking up, but has the withdraw if needed. F equals, using it, not able to land it, but now the curtains are opened up. Trying to find the snipe, and is going to force Nightclaw to withdraw. Unfortunately, that's only 200 gold, and not going to be a kill. Now Melee Vayne stepping forward, but it might be a little bit too far with Raikou picking up another one. The engage from Ice, looking for a bit more damage onto Raikou, but not quite able to find it. Nice double pick from Raikou to force 2 people back. Unfortunately, it's not quite going to be enough. And now Lizzo finds his way back. Took a top tower, goes in, spins for Raikou, and then immediately blast cones back top lane. Thanks for the drive-by, buddy.
He came to pick up his DoorDash order, and now he's going back to top lane.
No, that was actually, it's like, guys, food here. All right, back top lane.
Yeah, hey yo, the pizza's here.
Hey yo, the pizza's here.
He really picked that one up very, very cleanly.
Literally just runs in, ease, and then immediately leaves. Just zero hesitation.
Side quest completed.
Side quest complete. Pizza acquired.
Yeah, so we have acquired a second Infernal Drake here. I do not think we're gonna see Soul acquired this game, unless the Spartans really are just cannot end games, in which case they need to have a conversation about that.
I mean, hey, we saw it last game, but yeah, we're looking, what, another 10 minutes? We're looking at 34 minutes baseline to see Soul. Baron's up in 45 seconds. The gold difference is ballooned to like 8,000. Your Garen cannot die. Straight up. That Garen can probably walk into a 1v5, get a kill, and still get out.
And we dropped the Herald back at base. This is we have used the Finchy Herald here. It's gonna take its time.
Look, time was running out. Lizzo's
friend, the Herald.
Look at that. Look at them, best friends.
This is a beautiful moment right here. I think. Oh, speaking of
Nightclaw again.
Nightclaw. But why? but why?
This Lizzo needs to stop warding alone. Like, legitimately, the only times the Spartans have had a legitimate threat on them is when Lulu wards alone. Like, you'd think Nightclaw would figure it out after a certain point, right? But come on. Oh, Lizzo.
All right, we're driving. Yeah, that's a big crash right there. Into the turret.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think he could have just queued that tower and killed it.
I feel like no fear. Yeah, kill the turret, kill Swedish Pancakes. Just
nah, he wants mid. Never mind. He wants more.
Oh, he's going for the higher value play, is what he's doing.
He's going for seconds. He's going back to the pizza box.
Yeah, it's just
Ooh, I tried the pepperoni, the mushroom. Ooh, sausage. I haven't had that one
Oh.
yet.
Ooh, yeah, it's a truly a buffet for Lizzo. That's a classic right there.
Swedish is dead here. Swedish is
Yeah,
gone.
Swedish is a good night. Can we say okay? Never mind.
Oh,
Fear,
nice fear.
good fear. Necessary fear. If you don't land that, you're dead.
No, you are
So-
100% gone. And now that Lizzo's in the side lane with TP. Okay.
Hello.
I was gonna say they could start Baron. They're
Riot?
positioning around it. Hopefully they go for it soon.
Riot, my screen's gray. My screen has been
Riot.
gray very frequently.
Riot.
Caution. Just sitting here, just thinking about life is.
This was the Spartans pause this time. This is the one where they're saying like, all right, Nightclaw, we have it in the bag. Next 5 minutes, please do not keep us here late. Just stop going in alone. Just stop walking. Walk with Fallen. Walk with Ice. You're good. Just don't. We're chilling. Just stop walking.
I don't know. I have several questions, but I think just but why is the question I have more than anything else.
For both teams, honestly, at
For
this point.
both team, like obviously the Spartans are so astronomically far ahead this game that, and the Imperials lack the tools to really contest. So it's definitely like I'm not sure what the play is. For we get a good frame here. Let's observe. Ooh, the autos from the Ashe there are kind of neat looking.
This is the reason why no one plays with base skin Ashe. All right, the animations are terrible.
Yes, it's true. Wonder shot. That was not gonna hit anyone. Man.
That was an insane ultimate. Flash forward from Vaycaution. Ethereal Eyes just bringing her the ring around the rosy. Vaycaution caught. Nice parry though. Gonna look for a little bit more. Unfortunately, the polymorph.
I don't think Fiora wins this.
No, there's no way. And Garen taking more on the bot side of the map. Full priority on this Baron. Lizzo can do whatever he wants. And at this point, the Imperials, they're just like, do we go mid, I guess?
They aren't here. I guess we go, but they're gonna get super pinched, and there's no way
Lizzo's
out.
already there.
I think
waiting in the bush of the dead man.
All right,
Oh,
Lizzo,
no.
Lizzo, you gotta break the blast play. You gotta break
Not
the
like
blast
this,
play.
not like this. Oh, doesn't break it though. Oh,
Wait,
he's going
never
with
mind. This is all part of the plan.
Still gets it. And gets the stride breaker on the
no
2. Now
way.
Fallen looking for more. F equals getting run down. Just a couple more autos from that Echo will do him in. Meanwhile, Death here dropping the ultimate. Lizzo chasing forward, gets rooted, gets stunned. It does not matter. He has the Q. They get the slows. Lizzo running down Death like it is his job. But it's going to be Melee Vade picking up the kill. Drag up in a minute. That's going to be all but guaranteed. Can we just get the Baron and end the game, guys? I get it. At this point, I don't think they're playing with their food or not knowing how to end. Like, they know what they have to do. Lizzo's just doing whatever he wants. You see him. He kind of back towards that tower. He's like, can I do? Nah, not without the minions. He was thinking about it.
He's cruising USA right now. He's like he's just waiting for like something to do in the mid lane, waiting for the minions. The Garen at this point is a raid boss. This is
He's got the road trip music. He's going over the blast cone with 3. Just listen to Holiday. That's all it's playing in his ears. He's got the full deafen. He's got the music on. He's just like, he's in full Garen mode. He's just like, listen to nothing. Press Q, kill.
Yeah.
Also, I hope we're not getting copyright strikes for that.
Yeah, we aren't. Yeah, don't worry.
All right, good.
It's yeah.
You gotta do it. Whenever I do that, you gotta give me the voiceover. You gotta go audio jungle.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do that actually. Speaking of things I'm not gonna do, this Baron, as it is gonna be started here, a desperation play from the Imperials.
That is desperation to the highest magnitude. Look at him, he's just spinning. He doesn't even care. Walking it down, the polymorph onto Death, stunned up.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep chasing. I guarantee you, he's gonna keep chasing. Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, there he's going. He does not
He
care.
wants it.
There are 4 gamers. He's on his own. He does not care. I think he wins these. By the way.
No, he wins. Yeah, no, he 100% wins this. F equals goes in, has the redemption. Gets the first kill.
Okay, he is
He'll
dead.
eventually go down for it, and it is the Jhin getting the shutdown, which is nice.
That's not nothing.
It's enough, but it's nice.
It's not nothing for sure, and especially you really only traded Death for that, as Fallen is gonna go in, have to dip out with the parallel convergence.
Ball trying to chase him down, but unfortunately, there's just a bit too much distance in between him at this point. So, not a lie, Lizzo will pick up his first test of the game, and back for a full Thorn Mail and the Negatron Cloak.
I don't
While
think
that
he's
happens-
dying
no,
again.
Nope, the Tunneler instead. We're going more damage.
We have found the tunnel. We are walking right into the tunnel
Okay.
with the Tunneler.
4 minutes until the next drag. This is my plea to Spartans. Like, just I get it. You don't want to throw. You don't want to risk the steal. You guys can just get Baron and end.
Just get Baron, man. Just
They can't stop you.
get,
They really.
get Baron and
They
the
might
game.
steal it, but they can't
Have-
stop you.
Have you seen Nocturne? This man is famished. This is the least scary Nocturne that you've ever seen. What's he gonna do? You have
This is the
movement.
second. This is the second Flame Horizon, by the way.
Yeah, F equals having an absolute rough go of it this series. After game one, much like the rest of the Imperials, just got hit with the Space Jam no skill gun. It's all ability to play League of Legends has left to their bodies.
Did they do that, or did they just give Lizzo Michael's special stuff? Like,
Oh, maybe Lizzo does have Michael's special stuff. That might be what it is.
like, like it's out of the movie right now. Like, look at this man, just killing everyone, slaughtering them all. Meanwhile, like, Ice and Fallen just cannot be caught at all. F equals popping the Nightmare. Getting a CC chain, they can be caught if you get a CC chain long enough.
But
Another
why?
shutdown for Raikou.
But why?
I think that's kind of what this entire game has come down to at this point. Is but why?
Okay, the ulti, the
We're starting Baron.
balls.
Liz is just pinging it. He just wants to end the game.
Honestly, this is the play here. I think that with the three of you, nah, you probably can't really stall that much because
The Jhin is actually scary at this point in the game.
yeah, and it's ethereal ice exactly. Okay, we do
Redemption.
actually a lot more damage than I expected, but our goal
Dodging
here
the
is to just kind
CC.
of stall.
Yeah, Vay Caution going very low. Melee Vein hit up with the Spiraling Despair and the Root as well, going to keep them
Alright,
from
we
stopping.
have
But now they're
one
forced to back,
recall.
and that's all they're trying to do. Death goes down first.
Two
It is going to be
recalls.
Raikou effectively backed. Vay Caution as well. They're going to be able to stop this. It is it is an inhibitor for Lizzo. They won't be enough. Swedish though, the nice Severing Bolt hits Melee Vein from downtown while running away, picking up their first kill of the game. That is Swedish's first kill of the game. He finally
We
got
did
one.
it! We're
Yippee,
playing
32
League of
minutes
Legends.
in.
Welcome to League of Legends, Swedish.
Raiku's also 4 items now on the Jhin, which is huge. Getting the LDR and the Infinity Edge finished is really your only way of winning this game. Like, this is literally just pray to Raikou.
Yeah, this is the point of the game where the Jhin actually like does things, and we're kind of at so many points here. It feels like the Spartans could have just like taken their gold lead and walked.
Colin
with
has 0 stack Magi.
it. But
I feel like pointing that out. I feel like that needs to be said.
look, think of the value. He just needs to get 1 assist though, and the value's insane. Have you considered?
Consider that he keeps forgetting.
I don't know why you're
Have
sitting on
you
there.
considered that he keeps forgetting that he has a flash and an R key?
I have seen that. No, I've seen that Fallen has made some very baffling decisions this game, but I mean, so is Nightclaw. We could see a fight here though, and I don't think this is very baffling. This is looking pretty good
Oh.
to me.
Nice spell shield there from F equals. Unfortunately, the collapse now from Lizzo. The lights are turned off, but it's not going to matter. Eventually, Raikou will go down.
Okay.
He flashes the ultimate, and that is huge. Death will be the sacrificial lamb, but Lizzo might get punished for it. The ultimate shot going wide, but they will get the kill.
Raiku's not in the
F equals
fight.
backing out. Now it's Vay Caution looking for a little bit
Oh,
more.
wait, never mind.
Beautiful plays
There's
from
no
downtown.
way.
And
There's
Sweet Pancakes
no
is putting in the
way.
damage.
There's
Raikou
no
looking
way.
forward. Melee Vein burning down.
Baron.
Vay Caution needs a
They can
Q.
end.
They can do it. They can do it. They need one more. Raikou, not critting, needs the movement speed. Needs a little bit more to get in here. Gonna land it. Ethereal Ice, the last one alive. Vay Caution
They have
so
Baron.
low.
They can just end the game.
Raikou, have you done it again?
Can't be
Mr.
how it
Madman
ends, man.
has the force shot. Has to be careful. Taking so much damage.
What are we
Oh
doing?
no!
What are we doing?
Tank the
What are
turret
we
aggro
doing?
because of the Q, wasn't paying attention to the minions. Ethereal Ice might be able to hold on, but has to be careful now. Full HP, needs to pull off a miracle here. It's F equals Swedish, and Vay Caution hitting the towers, and they're ignoring it. They're landing the slows, they're landing the Spiraling Despair. Ethereal Ice getting so much damage, but it's not going to be enough. Just a few more autos, and the Imperials from the brink of defeat will pull it back and win the game out of nowhere.
But why? But why? But why? But why? But why?
Fallen and Nightclaw are legitimately
They're double agents. This isn't real. Can we get another game? Can we get another game pause? I want to investigate what in the goddamn just happened.
Look, it's what I was saying in game 2, right? Which is the Spartans. They have the mechanics. They have they have kind of what they need, but they don't know how to finish games. That is an actual heist. That is the Raikou heist of the century right there. And Swedish too. Swedish played that last fight beautifully.
I don't know, man. I mean,
no,
yeah,
that was straight. That was a Persona 5 Mind Palace heist right there.
That
legitimately, dude, stole Spartans' hearts right out from under them. How else do you explain that decision making?
Like, this is, I think, one of the worst throws I've ever seen. And after like 3 years of Draft League now, that's impressive. Like this is one of the most colossal throws I think I've ever seen. I can't believe we lost this. This is insane. I feel like we gotta check him PC. What? How did we end up here? I mean, no discredit to Swedish and Raikou, I think, really figured out what to do. And in that last fight, Death played so well, just absorbing literally every single ability while Lizzo was on the side trying to 1v9. Lizzo just didn't have the capabilities to do that, and that sort of left the side of the Spartans without a real, like, a threat. Because Melee Vayne, without Lizzo, Melee Vayne can't really get close because Swedish did so much damage. The poke from the Jin did so much.
Dude, Banter's going crazy. They're blaming Lizzo. What? Not going enough tank. Dude, that man was actually playing well. He was probably where he should have been.
Lizzo was
Fallen
playing League of Legends.
Fallen got caught twice. Nightclaw got caught 3 times. The advantage was that one of them didn't go on the death screen because it was a withdraw. But like, Melee Vayne was getting hit by Leona ultimates left and right. Like, for once, and I know the haters are gonna hate to hear it, I do not think this game was Lizzo's fault.
I don't know, man. I don't wanna look at this anymore. I want this off my screen.
Get this off my screen.
Just get this off my screen.
I can't watch anymore.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least the series delivered. Delivered what we were looking for, and that is good content. Speaking of good content, next week we'll be unfortunately having to go back to Sapphire, Snore, Boo Boo Baby, Cry. Actually, we might be in Ruby because I think we have Kitten's Spuds next week in Ruby. Yeah, no, Kitten Spuds is absolutely streamed next week, and then we're gonna see Raiders Skeletons in week 5. So we're gonna be back in Ruby next week for Kittens versus Spuds. We're gonna be seeing 2 good Ruby teams rather than whatever we just saw in this game. I have been Becky Rita. Joining me when it rains. Any final thoughts? Any closing statements you want to make about this wonderful night?
Get me the hell out of here.
Let's bring it home. We'll see you next week for more exciting Draft League action here on the Blue Water Draft League. I'll see you then.